everybody, SonGoshuaku live here, ready for all the breakdown of the latest Dragon Ball game trailers and all the latest Dragon Ball Super news. And we're going to kick things right off with my reactions to all the trailers that happen at Battle Hour 2026. Age 1000. Ozaru. Is he humming the Xenoverse theme? It is. Nice. Classic. What's this theme? I need this on my playlist right now. Loving the animation. Love these character designs. These are so classic. Akira Toriyama.
Look alive! Another incident in New City. That's your cue to head out and take care of it.
Bluma, aka Boma.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. And that's from Dragon Ball Superhero to Gamma 1. They still like brought back Gamma 2? What up with that? These colors definitely do look like the Great Saiyaman.
Nice.
So Bluma, aka Boma, made these. That makes sense. Loving these designs. Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace. The late great Akira Toriyama. New game project, Age 1000. Loving these graphics. Oh, the white-haired Saiyajin.
Careful though, I might just steal the spotlight myself.
Yeah, we saw him in the first trailer.
Here comes the hero.
There it is. They finally admitted it. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Oh my gosh, the details, man. You gotta know Toriyama designed this. Look at that. Dude, this environment, this futuristic background. Akira Toriyama, man, always on point. Oh.
That's gonna hurt tomorrow. Wow, you really caught me off guard. You okay?
$20.27. Yo, Bluma, aka Boma, is on point with that technology, keeping herself alive to this point. Wow. All right, that was nice. Okay. Xenoverse 3. Alrighty. So, yeah, I haven't really played the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games like that, but it's looking top notch, and I think I absolutely would want to play just to almost really see what Toriyama had in store for us for Dragon Ball Beyond the Future. What was it, like 250 years in the future or something like that? All right, that was good. Okay. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Break the limits. SS2 Gohan from BoJack. All right, all the stuff we saw in the previous PyCon. Tao Pai. All right, some of the stuff characters we've seen before. Over 30 playable. Oh, snap! GT Vegeta! Nova Shenron, like Sunshine Ron. GT Trunks? Oh, snap! King Vegeta's back. Oh, they got Chilai? Jocko? Okay. Oh, Kid Oob? Oh, and the Z Goku. Let's go. Holy crap. Nice, we can play with Gohan in his ice school. Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. Oh, nice Piccolo tech. Goku? Oh, they are including the attack he used to be cooler? Let's go. New game mode. Oh yeah, this is the new game mode they were talking about. Map, battle events, level up. So we got like free roaming? That's cool. I wonder if there's gonna be cutscenes or something in this. Okay. Oh, new power-ups, making the effects even better. Nice. The 4 new stages. Yes, finally, the lookout. Nice, and you can destroy it. We knew Kame House is gonna be in there. Dang, just drew Roshi's whole entire. Oh snap! They got the glacier from Broly, and that worked for the Android 13 movie. Oh, you can fight outside space now. That's good. Frieza's planet. That's back. Chain blast together. Oh, okay. They're adding new elements to the gameplay. Nice. Sparking boost. Overwhelm them with even greater power. Oh, snap. Okay, they are adding more stuff in the game. Legendary Hironobu Kageyama. Oh, Mighty Mask. They got Yo, GT18. Wow. Oh, snap. All the Bardock's. Wow. I'm like overwhelmed right now. All the Bardock's men. Oh, snap. Even the outfits from like the Way to the Cell Saga games. Oh, yo. They went further beyond than I thought for sure. Holy crap. I was not expecting all of that. Yo. Sparking Neo, Super Limit Breaking Neo. So it's like, yeah, the second Tenkaichi game, Sparking Neo. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. Whoa. I thought it was gonna be a few updates. I didn't think they were going that far. Wow. Dude, the love. Shout out to Spike, the developers of the game. The love that they just showed OG Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT. I did not expect them to go that hard for GT and OG Dragon Ball. All of Bardock's men, and again, like, holy crap, yo, this is what's up, man. All right, I don't know how much this thing gonna cost and everything, but yeah, we got some new great Sparking Zero content coming on the channel, that's for sure, man. Let's go. I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. I did not expect all of that. This is clearly more than just going straight into the what was it, like a Budokai Tenkaichi 3 Sparking Meteor type of what I'm trying to think of it. This is clearly more than just like a legacy update. I thought it was like just some legacy DLC, just throwing the stuff we didn't have from Tenkaichi that didn't come over from Tenkaichi 3 over to Sparking Zero. No. They said we're gonna give you that and a whole bunch of stuff. Like, holy crap, man. Let's freaking go.
It has been a while, huh? We've been through so much, more than I think we ever expected.
Trunks.
Get history back on track. We've taken down all kinds of foes, time and time again. The time to repent for your pride is upon you.
All the stuff that I haven't played. I ain't played Xenoverse 2 in like 10 years, so I've missed out on all this DLC. But this stuff looks cool, though.
Intense, but I won't let you die from it. That much I can
Oh, hey, Fu, I remember him from the
will be gone.
yeah, I remember Fu from like the
History, the future, protect it all.
promotional anime heroes they did. Future Saga. Oh, Mira and Toy. I love those designs by Akira Toriyama. Even though I haven't played the games, man, I always love their designs.
The final battle begins now.
Man, it's crazy. 10 years of content they've kept this game alive. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Future Saga Chapter 4. This is the final DLC.
This power, it's different from any I've ever had.
This summer, the last patrol begins. Future Saga Chapter 4 in this summer. The final DLC of Xenoverse 2. Had to throw some narrating voiceovers in there. Yeah, that looks really cool. I'm so far behind on DLC for Xenoverse 2, so I doubt I'm probably gonna play it. I didn't even buy the remastered version that they released for PlayStation 5. But for all those of you out there who are Xenoverse fans, I'm glad you've had this much content to keep you busy on the game for the last 10 years, and looks like a really nice, cool. They're ending with a bang before they head into Xenoverse 3, which I heard that the 2 and 3 have like different stories, so I'm not sure how much both of them will coincide with one another, but yeah, that looked pretty cool. Dragon Ball Fighters. Kid Buu. Man, these graphics are gorgeous.
This guy's not gonna be easy to take down.
Now, I have not played Fighters much, but hopefully I'm get into it. I did buy the remastered version on PlayStation 5, so I at least love to play the story mode. This game is always gorgeous looking. But I'm glad that hardcore fighters have a place to fight. Oh, snap. Oh, the transformation? Nice.
Thanks for pushing me to my limit.
Oh, this looks gorgeous. Them graphics, yo. Oh, yeah, this Goku would have destroyed and wrecked Kid Buu. Oh. Yo. Woo. Look at them combos. Dang. Break the whole realm, right?
2 Super Saiyan 4s, huh? This should be fun.
Oh. SS4 Gogeta versus SS4 Goku from Daima.
This is where the fight ends. Ultra Big Bang coming.
Yo. Oh, man. They killed it with the animations.
This is the power of Super Saiyan 4.
Yo, that's sick. Nice. They got the different colors, man. Daima pack. Yeah, I haven't really played Fighter as much as of the recording of this video, but hopefully I can get into it. Like I said, at least to play the story mode, but I'm so glad that people who are like hardcore gamers, competitive gamers and everything, shout out to like my boy Linux, I'm glad that this game exists for that side of the Dragon Ball fandom that plays games and stuff like that. That's the great time about what we're living in as Dragon Ball games. There's like Dragon Ball games out there for everybody, and that's what's so fantastic. But yeah, this looks awesome. This was nice. The fight. Yeah. The Realm of the Gods. Akira Toriyama. Animation. Masako Nozawa still killing his Goku. Whoa, look at the animation, man. I'm digging the music too. Super Brawl. Oh, we got next. Fakatsu no F remake or enhance. Frieza. Oh, he still got the armor when he gets resurrected instead of his pure whole body. Okay. Wow, okay. That was pretty cool. That animation looks sick. Obviously, the story of Battle of Gods has been told for several times now. This is the 4th time, right? So obviously we know exactly what it is, but at least with their enhancements, man, that animation was fire. That is the most gorgeous I've ever seen that version of the story, Battle of Gods, look. So if you're gonna remake it, at least it's look like it's just kicking the anime version out of the water, and it definitely even looks better than the original movie. That's for sure. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And so all right, I believe we are now officially back on here. Let me live making adjustments. I think okay, we're good. We're making adjustments. All right, there we go. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. That was my pre-recorded reactions live. I wanted to do it that way basically because I don't want to deal with any like copyright issues and all that stuff and everything. But yeah, those are my authentic real reactions basically to all that. But seeing that just got me hyped. Hope you guys are all hype and everything. I will actually be releasing an actual high quality version because these live streams are going to be a little bit lower quality since it's live. But yeah, I will have a high quality version going up tomorrow on the channel with notifications on so you all can watch that in full high quality and everything. But that being said, we have done the reaction portion of the live stream, and now we are going to move on to the big main breakdown where we do it frame by frame, so you already know how this goes. So let's start off here basically just looking at things. Man, fantastic futuristic looking world. Age 1000. Of course, this is being based off the Dragon Ball Online game, but Akira Toriyama clearly with these designs have gone ahead and made West City look way more futuristic and everything, and this is fantastic. Oh man, yeah, you guys probably saw in my reaction video, I love Ozaru, basically better known as the Great Ape in the Funimation / Crunchyroll dubs. Yeah, so I really love that they got that in the background, and just this background, man, this animation, phenomenal. And there we get our first look at the new character called Brett, I believe. And I really love his outfit because his outfit to me just kind of reminds me of Son Gohan, which actually there might be a clear tie-in with his name. But yeah, he reminds me of Son Gohan earlier on when he first appears in Dragon Ball with the same type of colors, the yellows, the reds, the greens. And I really love the way they do these, the way it materializes, the holograms and stuff, basically, or I guess it just comes out of thin air. And yeah, that's how he's able to do it. Because, you look at what they've done with capsules, and now this technology, hologram, smart technology, which I think, like, yeah, that might be what we're using not too far in the future, at least sometime in our lifetime. And this is where he plays his character's music, which you guys saw me when I first heard that track. I'm like, yo, I need this on my playlist right now. So yeah, I'm like, I need to find out what that song is and everything, and hopefully it's going to get a full release. But yeah, man, that was a banging theme, and yeah, I'm like him, like, yeah, I'm head bobbling, head banging to the theme too. So we see Brett there looking all ready and just that run, typical run and stuff. Man, there's a run back in Dragon Ball where in Z where the thin evil Majin Buu is running across water or something like that, or was it Super Buu? And they're running like ha 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 ha. So that's such a dramatic, classic Dragon Ball run right there. And so yeah, we're just getting a cool look with Brett, man. This animation is amazing. Like, this is just got to be like, this is how Dragon Ball animation is going to be looking moving forward. Fantastic stuff as he runs towards the camera, and they got the pausing, and it's really good. And then I see that that poor old man in the background, man, as we're going to see coming up a particular Dragon Ball character who clearly has been abusing the Dragon Balls or time travel to keep herself looking young. You can't help this old man out, you know, in the future. If you're able to walk around look that good at 200 something plus years old, Bluma, aka Boma, you can't help this guy out, or you know, I'm just wondering, like, man, and everything. So yeah, we've got one character here who has defied Father Times, and then other characters right here who clearly looks like, yep, Father Times certainly remains undefeated, unless you're Bluma, of course, aka Boma. More about that coming up. But yeah, just the artwork and everything in this, just phenomenal. The Capsule Corporation logo plastered all over West City. So I just really love the designs. And this was really cool, interesting, as we see his hair go by. There it is. If you didn't see it in our trailer, our boy Piccolo is still alive. It is very interesting how Namek Saging / Namekians, how they age and everything. Because if you all remember, Piccolo is only about roughly about maybe between 4 to 6 years older than Gohan, because he was born about 3 years in the time skip of Tenkaichi Budokai, the 23rd one. So he's like 3 years old and is already a grown man. He went from a baby to almost a grown man. Heck, he even came out the, I won't say womb, but he came out the egg almost the size of Kid Goku. Like, he screw the toddler age and whatever, or something like that. If I remember an OG Dragon Ball correctly, it's been a while since I've seen it. But then when you get to that, he's almost a dang near grown young man. And then, you know, there's the 5 years that pass after that, and he's furthermore matured. So yeah, the 3, the 5. So yeah, he's about like 8 years older than Gohan is when they meet, or no, yeah, about 4 or 6. I forget. Yeah, Gohan was born that age, so like he's roughly about 4 or 5 years older. So yeah, but we do know Guru, the elder of the Namekians, lived a long time. So how long Piccolo is living is interesting. I don't know the full story about Dragon Ball Online, just only the parts that I've researched. Or shout out to my cousin who's a far more knowledgeable Dragon Ball fan than I am and everything. Shout out if you're watching out there, love you, cuz. But yeah, man, yeah, it's crazy. Piccolo has lived this long and everything. Makes me want to learn more about the Namekian age for sure. And then I guess that's a taxi. And this guy, man, just he is feeling himself jacked. He's got purple hair. He ain't got a care in the world. Like, just really enjoying the future. So yeah, these people are happy, and it's good because Earth has been through so much over the centuries that have gone on. So yeah, especially in that age 700, it freaking blew up, right? So yeah, he's chilling and everything, and yeah, I'm liking the designs here, and nice little outside mall urban looking area as we see Brett running, and then we see this lady. I don't know if she's gonna play a big role in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, so I guess we'll have to see. And you know, look, she's enjoying her time, like ha 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 ha. Oh, I love Dragon Ball reactions, man. Dragon Ball, you could have one character in one moment being like, or you gotta be like, I wonder what, or they could be like, wow, that's so cool. You gotta love it, man. Those typical Dragon Ball reactions. I love the run when he's, you know, running in place. We don't know what the heck he's saying, but he's just up here running in place and all that stuff. And when he's running in place here, that's where I'm wondering, someone did this. I think it may have been Gohan. Once again, another nod about Son Gohan. I feel like there was a scene in Dragon Ball, I can't remember right now live on stream, but there was a scene where Gohan was like just running in space like that, looking back. So yeah, that's a really cool nod to that moment. And then, you know, obviously he's asking for forgiveness because he just brushed right past him. And then typical Son Goku goodbye. I love it, man. I love these references. I didn't even see, this is why I like doing these frame by frame breakdowns fry pan, and look how it's got on the F, it's got like, it looks like the Ox King's hat that he wears. So once again, maybe more nod that this guy has got to be part of Gohan's lineage and everything and stuff like that, especially with his puns, because bread is possibly pretty much his pun from that. So yeah, and so these characters are like, oh, you know, I really want to know what was said, because this is all just music in this portion. And yeah, whatever they said, man, it made them left puzzled, and then they are livid. Yeah, they are angry. Whatever he said, I needs to know it, and I wants to know it now. So yeah, Capsule Corp Tower, man. Yeah, Capsule, like, did Bluma, aka Boma, just expand it throughout the entire city? So I'm really interested. All right, this character right here, looking like SS3 Goku with the eyebrows missing and the blue hairs with the black pupils. And we look at the hair, there's the blue hair there. So looks like this guy is from Bluma, aka Boma's family lineage and things of that nature. So we see them basically right there just chilling. I just, the animation is amazing. I love the shadows, the details here. And then we see Brett running away and then jumping off into the air, flying away. And then there's the girl who was looking. Now that I'm actually watching this frame by frame, it almost looks like, is she a Kaioshin? Like is she like related to the East Kaioshin, aka the Supreme Kai, and his brother and sister that we saw in Dragon Ball Daima and stuff like that? I'm wondering. But yeah, basically she's up here singing, and I love the texture that they use. The texture that they use for the LED screen. And what was really nice, I noticed doing this frame by frame, what's really cool is you could see, just like if you ever record your phone, like a screen with your phone, you can see the different images fading into one another. So that was a really nice detail. Like, animation is on point. I love it. Look how it looks like a real LED screen. They were absolutely on point. New release out now. So maybe, like I said, we're gonna get her song and everything. And I love how it's like 3D and it comes on out of the screen. Like, that's really cool. And just that shot right there, the backlit, love that he's backlit, of course, with the light illuminating. And then you're getting more of the Capsule Corporation holograms there. So that was cool. And just these backgrounds are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, man. I'm loving these backgrounds. Hey, shout out, we got Don J214 in the chat. There is no telling how many Saiyajin descendants there are in the age of 1000 if there is humans who have the small portion of the Saiyajin genes. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how many Saiyajins are out here. I'm pretty sure, obviously, they're going to want to know, is it being Xenoverse 3? You're going to want to play as Saiyajin characters and stuff. So I'm interested to see where that goes and everything. Thanks for joining the chat. And you see Brett landing right down here and stuff, slowing down and everything. I just love the details in the animation. So great as he's looking off into that hologram, and then the image went to black, and there we go. So we got our look at all the new characters. The male white-haired Saiyajin, who of course we saw in the first trailer. We have a new female, and we don't know if she's human or Saiyajin yet, because we know the male Saiyajin and the white hair, we know he can go Super Saiyajin, but we don't know about the orange-haired female Saiyajin, so or human, we don't know. So I'm interested in her character. We got Brett, of course, and there you have Bluma, basically like the head honcho looking over, as we soon will see. This is Bluma. What I found interesting here is, look at there, we got Gamma 1. Now it makes sense that Gamma 1, being that he's a android type of character, that he would still be living. But my thing about this is, it's been over 200 to 300 years since the events of Dragon Ball Superhero, more or less 200 years. And in all that time, you're telling me Bluma, aka Boma, has not gone ahead and made a version 2 of Gamma 2? Or maybe that gets revealed later on, he's on some other mission. But if that's the case, what up with that? Surely Bluma, if she in her lifetime could find a way to completely be able to make the machine that would be able to take out 17 and 18 just based on the blueprints that Dr. Garo, aka Dr. Gero, left behind, then surely she would know how to create another Gamma. I mean, it wasn't Dr. Harrow with her in the movie. So I'm like, why is Gamma 2 not back here? They're this deep far in the future. I guess there goes the whole thing. I was hoping Gamma 2 would get remade eventually when Dragon Ball Super manga continues, but I guess not. Don Jada Chan says, I'm just glad Piccolo is still living, so maybe he is teaching a new generation of warriors who are related to Son Goku and Vegeta. Yes, absolutely glad to see Piccolo is living and stuff and everything, and that definitely is plausible. Of course, the Age 1000 is going to have the newer Namekians where you have the light green around like the goatee looking thing, but it's actually, you know, just their skin and stuff. But yeah, we got Bluma here, aka Boma. Yo, I gotta applaud her. Can we talk about the fact that Bluma, aka Boma, has knocked out mother effing Father's Times, gave him a uppercut and said, you ain't coming nowhere near aging my body. This woman has abused the Dragon Ball. She done gone up here and used time machines. So it's just, oh man, there's so many theories right now as far as how she did it. She's either done time travel because we know she could create the time machine, or she has abused the Dragon Balls and constantly made herself younger, or maybe she just wished for eternal youth, or maybe she drunk from whatever Roshi drunk to give himself eternal life or eternal youth. I know Roshi's still probably alive in this time and everything, but yeah, but it's really sad if Bluma has outlived her husband Vegeta, because if you guys follow Dragon Ball Online, basically I think the story goes about like it was age 801 or around more or less age 800, Goku and Vegeta, it said, basically got old and in their elderly age went off somewhere in space to have one final battle, and they either died of natural causes at old age, or they died in one last battle, went out fighting each other. And Bluma's still here looking young as ever some 200 plus years later. Oh man, so that's kind of sad to know, like, oh dang, she just outlived her Vegeta. She gave herself the hookup but not her husband the hookup. Like, that kind of just sounds sad. So I really want to see more where this story is going. Don Jada Chat says they fought in space to their last fight and created a supernova. Yes, supernova. I did forget that detail and everything, and stuff like that. Maybe you've played Dragon Ball Online or you're just aware of the details and stuff. But yeah, I did forget about that detail created like a big supernova, which, hey, sound like an absolute bang of a way for the two greatest Saiyajins of all time to go out and stuff like that. So yeah, how that's going to be reflected in this game is going to be very interesting to see, because Son Goku and Vegeta are such popular characters, and of course you're going to want them in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about that and everything and stuff like that. And yeah, Gamma 1 still around, totally makes sense, and it's cool because you can tell this is Toriyama's reinvention of essentially how they had things set up for it, basically in Dragon Ball Online, because you know at the time he made it, that was like in I think the early 2000s, long before Dragon Ball Superhero. But now here he decided to go ahead and add it and everything, because Toriyama, you know, right up to his passing, he lived to see how far technology has come in the real world, and was able to implement that in this upgraded version of Age 1000. So yeah, and so we got Brett there. So far I'm really enjoying Brett's character work. He just seems like a great Dragon Ball character I am going to love and everything. Like, it just has all those great parts and stuff that you would look for him in the as a character. Like I said, he's got to be a descendant of Son Goku and Gohan. I love this. I wonder if that's how the game's interface is gonna look when you're creating your characters in Xenoverse 3. So that's really awesome and everything, and I'm loving the new way. This is obviously got to be the new Great Saiyaman outfits and everything, and we see it, and the way it forms is just awesome. I love like this little time warp, and he's like he's getting all serious and stuff and everything, and I love this little green block comes out and completely starts changing his body. Love the glasses or the goggles or whatever you call the shield and everything, and then he's all happy right there, and you can see inside. This is actually, now that I'm looking at it, This is inside the same hologram sparring place that we saw in the first Age 1000 in the first Age 1000 trailer and stuff, where we saw the white-haired Saiyajin fighting those holograms, like they beat them down like they stole something. And you start seeing right here where the sparkles start coming on the outfits, and that's really cool, and how it takes over. I love these visual effects. Like, this looks so much cooler than when Gohan was doing the Great Saiyaman and stuff like that, like the new boots and the way it just transforms and everything and turns on. Like, imagine if putting on clothes was this easy and everything. Like, wow, like that's cool, man. The GS Great Saiyaman must be a tribute to it. So I'm loving the new outfits, just really awesome, and the Capsule Corp logo and how it changes. And look at that, just how my man is standing right there already, all about to be on business. The sparkles in the eyes, and it shines, and the green Broly like glowing, and even the helmet looks awesome. Like, I think this looks sick. It looks like a more simplified version of the Great Saiyaman outfit as it pans up here. I'm digging it, actually. I really do. It reminds me like when Gohan took off the helmet in the Majin Buu saga and took off the cape. Like, that was actually a pretty cool looking outfit, and I think that's why I like it so much. It really is awesome. Don J in the chat says, before they reintroduce the Age 1000 setting, I really hope they go back and mention Son Goku Jr. 100 after GT, since he is a direct descendant of Son Goku and Pan. That is interesting. Will they implement Son Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. in this? And I guess it's not too far off the realm of possibility, because there are GT characters in Age 1000, as I believe the GT timeline is treated as its own separate timeline and stuff. So I mean, especially when you get into like Dragon Ball Heroes, it gets all kinds of wacky and everything. So yeah, there's no reason why I wouldn't say, yeah, go ahead and add Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. in the game for sure. So yeah, this is just really cool. So yeah, the more I look at it now, I really love this Great Saiyaman design. They got the shoulders instead of the cape, man. This is awesome. I love it. Look at that city. You knew the animators were going hard on that, man. Just phenomenal, man. They say Toriyama was working on this game, and all the respect to the late great Akira Toriyama to design all this and these concepts and stuff towards the end of his life and everything. Just still going all out to give us Dragon Ball fans more of his awesome creativity. I really love it. And I just love that shot of him looking back, man. It is so cool, and you just get the look on that building. Awesome. Don J in the chat says, that futuristic Great Saiyaman outfit is cool, though it gives me Sentai and Power Ranger edge. Well, you know, the whole Great Saiyaman, the Ginyu Force, the poses, yeah, it is pretty much based on all that stuff. So hey, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. And I love the aura coming up from the feet, and then he bends down to go ahead and do the power up, and then we got the aura, and then he flies off, and I love that shot. I had to use it as the thumbnail for this live stream. So yeah, and I love that it's transparent. We can see the green and everything. Like, whoo, the more I look at it, the more I love these new Great Saiyaman designs. It's simplistic, but it freaking works. And I love it, man. Like I said, I haven't even seen too much of this Brett character, but I am definitely loving it. Loving the new character flying off into the sky right in there. So yeah, this has got to be a good look at what Dragon Ball Super is going to be looking like in the future. Legendary Akira Toriyama presents. And so that's that woman earlier that he was getting mad, and she's writing. At first I thought she was maybe a teacher or a student or something, but yeah, she's looking, and like I said, Dragon Ball characters, they just be out of nowhere. Be playing game. Or they'll be in the middle talking about, you know, on the phone. Yeah, man, so the other day, you would never believe. Sorry, man, I'm just in awe right now. You gotta love these Dragon Ball characters, man. So she's looking up there, and he's flying and all in the sky and everything. And you gotta wonder, are people used now in Dragon Ball, in this Dragon Ball world, are they used to seeing people fly in the sky after all these years with the technology? You gotta imagine it can't be such a novice type of thing. As it was explained in the Buu saga, from Gohan to Videl, every Dragon Ball, no, every character in Dragon Ball has ki within them, but it just takes a lot of training to bring it out of you, and not everyone obviously could do that. So I'm loving how he's flying around. New game project, age 1000. And this was our first look at essentially how the graphics are going to look on the PS5. So love the reflection details, and he lands on the ground. And I still got to maintain, as we see the belt and moving up on the outfit, it really, to me, looks like it's all the CGI here is almost on the same level for the game, if these are the game graphics, or maybe it's just the CGI graphics they're using for cutscenes, but it really looks almost nearly on the level to me as Dragon Ball Superhero. So I am all for that. That looks awesome. And when I talk about these Dragon Ball characters, 1 minute is like, now they're smiling. Like, why is he smiling? And then he's like, huh? Like what you paranoid about so much, bro? What are you? Well, we know he's a Saiyajin. We don't know if Brett is he could go Super Saiyajin or not yet, and everything. He should be able to, but yeah. So we get the white-haired Saiyajin who lands down, and then you got him saying hi there. He's all ready. So we did get. I enjoyed the voice acting and everything. I'm not sure who the voice actors were, but I thought they did a phenomenal job making these characters sound youthful and young and exciting and things like that. And we get our good looks there. It must be me, and I get the feeling of what we're seeing. Brett seems to be the outgoing one. He's the character. He's the guy that's like, he brings the life to the party. You know, he's the guy that gets everybody all riled up. Whereas the white-haired Saiyajin character here that we saw in the first Xenoverse, he seems more serious, more stern, and all that stuff. He smiles a little bit, but yeah, he's back to being business right there and everything. And so you see both of them getting on guard. And I was wondering, like, who are they looking at? But they are on guard, and I love how he takes a little breath. Let's do this. And basically there you go, and they end up going ahead and taking off. Brett's left behind right there, and we see him flying there. Love the outfits, and this was the big moment. I love the way they did the reveal, as if we didn't know. As mentioned in my last live stream, the Southeast Asian account for a YouTube account for Bandai Namco accidentally went ahead and put in there the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 that it was for, but we all knew what it was gonna be and stuff. And you see the graphics, and there it is. I said in the reaction, they finally admitted Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. So that was cool. And I love the logo and everything. We got the 3 represented in the back there. So yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked for everybody. We'll take a quick break here. So yeah, that looks really awesome. Love it. Love the Xenoverse 3 trailer. It's been a long time coming for a lot of people. And then you get the eyes opening here in this nighttime scene. And yeah, this whole place looks really awesome. Like the details that they put in this messy area. Honestly, I think it's not too far from almost how Toriyama's actual what was it, his office had looked like, where he did his studio and everything and stuff. I feel like I've seen something that looks similar to this and everything, so that's a really cool nod there. And then you have this thing that opens up the I guess it's like the special way they open the windows here, and that was really cool. So I really did like that, whatever this thing is. So I just want to know more about this world, and this is where it was just always some of Toriyama's best creativity, is his realm building, the way he built these different worlds, and it just makes you like suckered in, because you just like, wow, like what does this do? What is this? Like, man, it's so awesome. Don J in the chat says, I really want the creators to reintroduce Vegeta's brother Tarbo, since he is the only other Saiyajin left with a tail. Yeah, Tarbo never made one appearance in the entire Dragon Ball Super. He was in SonGoshuaku and His Friends Returns 2008 special, but we haven't seen him yet. So it would be great to see him come back and everything and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is how they open the windows, and it's like the window got broken open or something. That thing gets sent flying, or yeah, it goes out of there. And we get a good look, futuristic. Yeah, I'm getting total like Futurama vibes and stuff like this when you see the city and stuff, man. It's crazy. You see all of this in the area. It's just like, look at that. That's gorgeous. So this is how it looks like the West City is gonna look in the game. Because was it like man, what was it like Toki City and then Content City? I haven't played these Xenoverse games in a decade, so forgive me, y'all. But it was like there were two different cities, I think, in the Xenoverse games, and then this one is the futuristic West City. So we get to explore this in Xenoverse 3. Yo, this is awesome. Like, I definitely want to walk around this and see it and all that stuff. So yeah, we get all this really cool stuff here. Don J in the chat says he was also in the Raging Blast 2 game also. Oh yeah, man! I didn't really play Raging Blast 2, but I think yeah, you're right. He was playable in the game, and they ain't put him back since. Well, I'm pretty sure Sparking Zero is gonna put him in there. That's for sure. And we'll be getting up the Sparking Zero breakdown coming up soon here. But yeah, this is the part where we get this machine. Yeah, you can start seeing it flies out of nowhere, and it's clearly Bluma, aka Boma. There she is, and she's lost control. I don't know. You would think she would have an easy time at controlling these machines with how long she's been around, but I guess maybe it's a little bit harder to get. And like, boom, just comes and knocks out the port right here inside you. Man, just think about it. That's just all you need. I had a good night rest. Gonna open the curtains, and then this girl just comes flying out of nowhere from a helicopter. Boom! Yeah, man, who got time for all that in the morning? She just comes bashing right in, like he's like, oh, and they just end up going flying. Like, look at the position Bluma's body's in. It's like she's getting an RKO out of nowhere for my WWE fans that watch Randy Orton. That's exactly how wrestlers be looking when they get the RKO, and boom, she just does a whole full stomach first splash right there. Bluma does, and man, look at the white-haired Saiyajin. He's all contorted and something. Hey, Bluma accidentally did more damage here than them holograms did that we saw against him in Xenoverse in the first trailer. My man up here rolling, doing like a whole rock sale, a Stone Cold Stunner. If y'all are WWE fans, the Rock was this is how the Rock would take a Stone Cold Stunner, rolling all over the ground and stuff to sell the action. Man, oversell job. Two of the latest Bluma up here selling, man. Dang. Oh, yo, I didn't recognize that. we got two references, y'all. Two references. The white-haired Saiyajin has been put in the Yamcha position. That is legit the Yamcha position after the Cyberman blows him up. Oh, this is why I love doing these frame-by-frame breakdowns. You miss these details. And look at Bluma. She got her booty stuck up in the air. She's literally been put in the Raccoon position. That's how Raccoon was when Goku elbowed him to the elbow. Two of the most disrespectful positions we've ever seen in Dragon Ball history, recreated here. You got the white-haired Saiyajin doing his best Yamcha. You got Bluma doing her best Raccoon. This shot right here is freaking hilarious, and I love it. I love the details, man. They be going hard with these Dragon Ball games and the details, thinking we wouldn't notice, but man, that is hilarious. I never noticed that, y'all. That is too funny. Oh my gosh. So yeah, after my man gets done playing and pretending to be Yamucha, aka Yancha, he's getting up there. Bluma's getting up there. Both of them getting their heads are feeling, their heads are hurting. Though it look like they both went body first into there. So yeah. Don J in the chat says, can you imagine what Dragon Ball Age 1000 would look like if it was in the art style of Dragon Quest? The realism would be next level. I don't think I see too much of the Dragon Quest and everything, but I know Toriyama did the design and everything, but sure, I can imagine because shoot, Toriyama, a master character design, so I'll take your word for it and all that stuff and everything. And just, yeah, I know he was working on the last Dragon Quest game that came out before he had passed away. And yeah, this is just looking great. And you get Bluma here. Now, this is where things get very interesting. So even though, she's hurting, we see this start to form around her neck. And it looks like one of those halo things. Now, we know Bluma obviously is cool with Beerus and Whis, and it kind of reminds me of the halo that floats around the angels, and it makes me wonder, is one of the things, maybe it's not the Dragon Balls, maybe it's not time travel, maybe Bluma did something really good, made them some sort of really good food that they enjoyed, and Whis has gone ahead and probably didn't put this, given her this halo thing that has been able to allow her to reserve her youth or do this time travel. I mean, Whis can practically do anything, as we saw in Resurrection F when he reversed time and stuff like that. So, and he brought Frieza back to life. So, yeah, I just want to know more of this story here. This is looking really, really interesting. So, I just can't wait to find out exactly. It's got to be one of those theories that everyone is thinking about with Bluma and everything. One thing's for sure, ain't no way in heck she just happened to live that long through natural causes. Ain't no way. And so we get Bluma up here and getting up and stuff, and it looks like she's holding this thing that ended up opening the windows and stuff like that. And there you see the white-haired Saiyajin, and this is like, she had to really rush over here and let him know something, absolutely something and stuff. Your from I'm Divine Power, thank you for joining the chat. Your username just screams to me of Zamasu, you mortals, I am Divine Power. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, this right here, yeah, I just love the whole background, and I think this is our last parting shot in it. And there you go, Xenoverse 3 2027, and it's going to be exclusive on current gen consoles. So I'm assuming this game is going to absolute max what the Xbox Series X and S and PS5 can do, and obviously PC has no limits and all that stuff, especially the technology continues to rise. But yeah, I can definitely say, having done this background, man, I have more appreciation for all the details that went in this. Shout out once again to the late great Akira Toriyama, man. I know Akio Yoku was saying at the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour that he did the character designs, and he did the new he did all like the concepts for how the worlds would look and the artwork. So really cool. And you know, I always wanted to see what Dragon Ball is like beyond the end of Z. As I mentioned, I never played too much Dragon Ball Online, still educating myself on some of the stuff as well, and stuff like that. But one of the things here is this is really cool that from the mind of Akira Toriyama, we get to see what things were like at the end of Z. So I'm glad to see that, and I'm just really interested with Xenoverse 3 where this might play into the future of Dragon Ball. But I'll save more of that for the analytical breakdown later on in this live stream. We're going to get to the next portion, which was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and that brought the hype. All right, so as we get into Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Break the Limits, we got to look at Gohan from the BoJack movie once again as he's coming in flying. And this was shown in the previous trailer. And we get Vegeta and Goku, of course, doing the Kamehameha and Gallic Gun that they did in combo attack that they did in Dragon Ball Super Broly. And we got Bardock spinning right there doing the boom, big elbow to Frieza. So this is where we started seeing a little bit new material. So we knew Paikuhan, aka PyCon in the dub, was going to be in the game, and this looks like that's the fire attack, so I'm glad they're bringing it back. Yeah, that technique was really cool. I remember it had a slow setup, but then when he does it and just shoots the flames out of his fist was really cool. So I love how focused he is on there, so that's going to be cool. Hopefully we can play as Paikuhan, aka PyCon, as where he takes the armor off and stuff. Maybe hopefully they got it as a different costume for him to use, because I don't think they've let us play with that, and that was like serious PyCon. So I know this is his most iconic look, but yeah, we got Zanya coming in with the big foot and everything, leg. This is like, is it called like Leaf Hurricane in Naruto when Rock Lee does that? So he's about to do that to Krillin and everything. And then of course we saw Piccolo Daimo, and like I said, they went all out making his demon wave look way more destructive ever. We get our first look at Grandpa Gohan. I really hope to, just like in Sparking Meteor, aka Tenkaichi 3, when Grandpa Gohan gets battle damage, his mask comes off and everything. So that was a really cool feature that they did have on the game. So hopefully we still get that with him. Tao Pai Pai, man, these graphics are looking good. They just totally captured Toriyama's style from the late 80s and OG Dragon Ball. And I really hope with Tao Pai Pai, we're going to also get, because they said over 30 characters, so there's still plenty of room left. Hopefully we're going to get the mechanical version of Tao Pai Pai as well. So I'm loving the green shading when he does the the Dodon Ray, is it what was it called and everything? I think it is. I'm trying to remember if I got it right. We got Spike the Devil Man. Like I said, against Zamasu, man, one of the most evil mother effers in Dragon Ball. Against him, what is it? That's gonna be some serious evil right there. So he might get one-shotted right here. So I'm glad they got Spike in there. We got Champa. So it's gonna be interesting to play with Champa and stuff like that. I wonder if they're gonna include some of the attacks we saw from him in the manga and stuff like that. So there we go. Oh, Super 17. There we go. We saw this in the first trailer. So glad Super 17 is back. So battle system, stages, costumes, and characters. Over 30 playable characters, and this was the big thing, as they say in pro wrestling, pop, meaning you get a big reaction. I was not expecting Dragon Ball GT Vegeta, man. And y'all, as I've mentioned many times, when it comes to Dragon Ball GT, I like it. I just don't like it as much as OG Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. But I thought GT is a series full of great concepts, but poor execution. But when it comes to the concept, I love Dragon Ball GT Vegeta's design, the blue leather or whatever jean leather outfit and everything, or if it was a blue jean outfit. I love it. We got the final shine attack. Like, that animation looks cool. I didn't mind Vegeta with shorter hair. I'm glad they got rid of the mustache. I don't know if that was ever a rumor or if it was true, but I heard that Toriyama may have complained about to the animation staff at Toei that he didn't like the mustache. So he said, he's like, I think Vegeta looks cooler without the mustache. So they shaved the mustache off. I remember the dub, was it Brawl, who's known as Bula in the dub? She says, what you do to your face or something like that. And Vegeta goes like, I shaved my mustache, you idiot. I love that line. We got Super Saiyajin Vegeta. Now, I hope that Super Saiyan 2, aka Super Saiyan 2, as it's known in the dub, I hope that we get SS2, Super Saiyajin 2. Hope that is also going to be in the game, but it looks like they only got SS1 because I think he did the final shine against Super 17 as SS2, which was actually one of my favorite lines in the Dragon Ball GT. When Super 17 is all like, I admire your courage to keep on fighting even though you know it's useless. And Vegeta just responds, and I admire your right to die. Final shine attack. Oh man, I love that line. That was one of my favorite lines in the dub, in the English dub, and I prefer the Japanese version, honestly, when it comes to GT. But I did love that line in the dub, and we get to see it final shine. Like, it's so cool because they've always included it as SS4 Vegeta. Now we get to actually use the version of Vegeta where that technique originated, and then we got. Oh man, I forgot. What was the Japanese name of it? Was it like Sun Shinlong? Let me look it up right quick. I think it was like Sun Nova Shinron's Japanese name. I might be off here. Let me see. Was it like yeah, Sun Shinron Si Ying Long is the name and everything. So yeah, I thought it was like something like Sun or something like that, but Nova Shanron and everything. I forget about it. I forgot it, everything. But it's cool to see him in there. He was one of the highlights of the Dark Dragon Saga, aka Shadow Dragon Saga, and I love this outfit. Like the digital effects here look phenomenal for the visuals. So I'm looking forward to playing him. Hopefully they got his brother, Ice Shenron. Let me see. His brother's Japanese name too. What was his brother's Japanese name? I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I've watched Dragon Ball GT. let me see, because I remember, yeah, I think he was like a skin in Tenkaichi 3. So yeah, his brother Shenron, yeah, was it like San Linlong, Shenron, like Ice Shenron, yeah, like Ice, yeah. So yeah, I know they called him Ice in the dub and everything, but yeah, he was just like a skin blue. So hopefully they got him as an actual character, and it wouldn't be that hard because they're literally just a color swamp. So not much work need to be done there. So would it be actually fun to play as him, because those 3 dragons, and along with like the Princess Shadow Dragon, it turned into that ugly ogre looking beast dragon. I thought those were the 4 coolest dragons among the shadow dragons in the game. So I mean in GT, so I would love to see it, or I should say GT. And of course the dragon that took out a cigar and blew his smoke. Love that episode. That episode in Dragon Ball GT, by the way, where they had one of the coolest introduction in all of Dragon Ball. Not just GT, but all of dragons. The dark dragons flying all over the earth. Love that. That's why I said GT had great concepts. But unfortunately, even when you watch it after that, poor execution, until we got more towards the end. But yeah, this is looking really good. Love this technique. Oh my gosh, look at that. Goku is just getting all kinds of effed up with that technique. So I can't wait to play that ultimate. And then we get Trunks. GT Trunks is going to be in the game. I did not expect this. They surprised me with this one. We're going to get to play as GT Trunks, which, let's be honest, this is probably the least coolest version of Trunks. I don't know how many people actually really love this version of Trunks. Like, Super did Trunks pretty well. Didn't explain a lot of stuff, but he was still pretty cool in there. And then Z, everybody loves Z Trunks. I'm pretty sure we all love the Dragon Ball Xenoverse version of Trunks, but this Trunks, yeah. Hey, shout out to my boy, the man 0001 in the house, saying hello, friend. All right, I can't do it like you do, but yeah, that's his signature. But yeah, he says Dragon Ball Grand Trash. That's what a lot of people say and everything. And yeah, this was not, out of all versions of Trunks we ever got, this was not the best Trunks. We got SS1 Trunks, and he got a lot of screen time early on in Dragon Ball, but I'm looking forward. Well, hopefully this version of Trunks is a lot funner to play in the game than it was to watch him in Dragon Ball GT. Yeah, for all the screen time they gave this Trunks, they didn't really do much with his power and all that stuff. So he flies towards there, and he's going at Super Baby Vegeta 2, and boom, and you got Vegeta flying in there. So we got ultimate attacks. I'm loving this right here. So yeah, like I said, this is cool. This is cool. We didn't get to see Vegeta and Trunks do any cool thing like this in Dragon Ball GT. So hopefully Spike got our backs on making these characters more fun in the game and everything. Yeah, we're getting Vegeta versus Vegeta here, both bodies, right, with Baby in charge. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that happens. Love the impact frame. So boom, Vegeta just coming in with a big giant punch, and Trunks right after. So it's gonna be interesting to see, and I love the details in the hair and how they're going back there and stuff like that, and look at how they're getting on. Like right now. I'm saying it right now. This little bit we've seen in the trailer for Vegeta and Trunks is far more cooler than anything we saw these two do together in Dragon Ball GT. So it's starting off really good. I'm loving it. Like, man, look at that. That is clean. Like I said, though, I always dug Vegeta's Dragon Ball GT design. And then how they're both about to blast. And look at that. That is clean. And boom, about to just F baby Vegeta all kinds of ways up. Loving the effects, loving the technique. Like, yeah, like how cool would it have been to actually see Vegeta and Trunks get something cool like this in GT? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with there. We got King Vegeta is back, and he's in his Dragon Ball Super Broly outfit. So, loving the technique, loving the blast there. So yeah, King Vegeta was actually in Tenkaichi 3. So I'm looking forward to playing this. This other one that shocked me, Chilai. We got Chilai. So I'm all for having more female characters in the game and stuff and like that. I didn't think they would put her in the game because she wasn't really that much of a fighter, but hey, whatever they can do to get more female characters in the game, as I kind of speculated, like, is that the reason why Zanyo is being added to the game out of all of Bojack's henchmen, who I still hope get in the game as well? But yeah, more awesome for female characters. You know, I'm gonna put her against Broly. I wonder what they're gonna say. They gotta have her on some flirty stuff. Yo, shout out to my man, the man 0001, who actually sit next to me in the theater And when she first comes on and on the screen and she's looking at Broly and like is mesmerized and stuff by him, the Man Trooper 01 leaned over to me in the into my ear and he was like, thirsty. I remember that and stuff basically because yeah, she was laying it on thick in Dragon Ball Super Broly just at the side of Broly. But yeah, we're gonna have her just shooting her laser guns and everything, so I love the effects there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Chi-Lai in the game and stuff like that. And then you got Jocko in the game, so it's good to see Jocko. Now I think Jocko is actually in the Xenoverse 2 game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't played Xenoverse 2 in a while, but yeah, so it's cool. He's making his Sparking Zero debut here. So I'm really look forward to playing Jocko, and boom, they got him beating up the henchmen of Frieza and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Look at that, man. Boom! He came in with he's punching him there, and then boom, comes in with another punch. Bam! Socked him right in the jaw. So that's really good. Uppercut, sending that man flying, and then he does the cool slick smooth move right there where he pulls out his laser gun, and then oh boy, you're about to be effed up, you're gone. And I love it, man. Shoots that thing, boom, gets Frieza Soldier, and bam, he is done. Love that. And then watch this right here, gotta keep it cool with the cool pose right there, and then you see the impact frame, boom, smithereens. Please, I really hope in Sparking Zero Neo Limit Breaker they bring back that whenever you do an ultimate attack that would obliterate the person when the white flash is done on screen, their body is completely gone. I miss that detail in Sparking Zero. It just sucks dropping a big giant Genki Dama AK Spirit Bomb. You see this cool epic explosion, and then when the white flash clears, their body just falls out the ground, and you see them on the ground huffing and puffing being done. Like, come on, obliterate the body, just disappear like it was. I love that detail in Tenkaichi 3. Boom, kapow. Thanks for joining the chat. Says, yeah, Jocko playable in Xenoverse 2. Cool. Yeah, it's been 10 years since I played the game, but yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, he's in Sparking Zero, and I love it. Oh, I love they got the pack. I love that in Dragon Ball Superhero, this is not an effect, but this is actually a part of the hologram that comes up from the Gamma's body. So that was really cool. Oh, this popped me again. I was like, Kid Oob, freaking Kid Oob. Because if those of you who've been playing the Dragon Ball games, at least since the PS2 era, you'll know that Kid Oob is a playable character in Budokai 3. Now, in Infinite World, which was the last game, very underrated game, by the way, honestly, I think the best of the Budokai games on the PlayStation 2, they took Oob out. But yeah, it's really cool to see Kid Oob in the game. So now we can play as Kid and Adult Oob. So that is awesome, man. I love the atmosphere here. This looked way more epic than it did in the actual tournament for at the end of Dragon Ball, which is like the 27th Tenkaichi Budokai, where him and Son Goku fall, and I love that. Just look at that, man. That animation is smooth, and he runs right towards him. And yes, this also was great. I was like, yes, end of Z Goku / end of the manga Goku is in there. Like, real talk, my favorite outfit of Goku. I love the iconic orange and blues, though actually, you know what, that Resurrection F outfit probably gives it a big strong run of its money for me, because I love that it was basically this outfit just with the classic orange and blue colors. But yeah, I love this outfit just because it felt like Goku is just the master of the martial arts now. I love it, and they got the whole clashing there, so I'm glad to see that in the game and stuff. Man, 0001 says Kid Oob finna get roasted, lol. I gotta roast Oob. Y'all don't take it too serious. Man, 0001 loves roasting Dragon Ball characters, but he loved them. I freaking loved Kid Oob and basically Adult Oob and all that stuff and everything, man. All the versions of Oob in the Dragon Ball games were awesome, and loved him as a character because he really was like the embodiment of a character who didn't know his own strength, and Goku brought that out of him, and it's left up in Dragon Ball that, hey, Oob is probably going to be something. And unfortunately, Dragon Ball GT dropped the ball. So hopefully Toyotaro does right by Oob, and so far he has, as we'll see in the moral arc and stuff and everything. Shout out to Boom Kabal says, I agree, Goku fit was awesome here. Yeah, absolutely loved it. new costumes and everything. So yeah, this is probably gonna be, and it's probably gonna be Goku In's outfit, which is good because I love going SS3 in this form and with that outfit and stuff. Dude, I love the details. Look at the angry face on Oob and stuff, ready to come at Goku like that with the kick, and boom. Yeah, this is the actual kick that made Goku's arm vibrate and all that stuff. Dude, the final Dragon Ball fight being implemented here, and we even got Goku doing the knee. That's the exact knee that he does against Oob. So that's really awesome. We got some new signature attacks and Goku flying. Love it. Love the actual design. He teleports in the air. Oob's like, where are you? Look at where you are. And we go in the sky, and that's exactly how it was at the end of Dragon Ball Z / the manga. Goku just standing up in the sky, looking down to Oob, and getting ready for the Kamehameha. And I'm like, oh, we talk about fits. We got Gohan's Orange Star High School outfit on and everything, and his base form, and we get him transforming right there at the impact frame into Super Saiyajin 1. I love it. And this is the actual attack that he used to stop these bad guys that were trying to get away. I think they robbed the bank and stuff, and Gohan was just so calmly, and he took his hand out, and he was basically like, and boom, it just sends a shockwave out. Like, that looks awesome. Love it. Dude, I'm gonna love playing in this outfit and stuff too. And we got Great Saiya Man 2, aka Saiya Woman Videl. So I'm glad to see her back and everything, with her and Gohan doing these cool, awesome attacks. They always had some really fun, loving attacks to do that was very romantic lace but hard hitting. And shout out if y'all haven't seen in my Dragon Ball ranking the 4 couples podcast, where I said this is my favorite couple in all of Dragon Ball. So I definitely am going to enjoy doing these tag team attacks with them and everything. So yeah, just love the coordination and everything. Gohan right there, Great Saiyan Man. Yeah, I'm definitely sticking with what I said. The new Great Saiyan Man fits that we've seen in Xenoverse 3, much cooler than the OG designs. Loving right there though. We got the Great Saiyan Woman flying, and yeah, we got both of them flying there, and that's looking really cool. And then I love how they both fly away, and then boom, coming down with that kick, looking too smooth, too cool. This is really cool. We got Piccolo's gonna have a new technique where we get more of that. I'm glad that we're getting more implementation, more they're implementing more of Piccolo's ability to stretch his limbs. This was really cool, I think, in Budokai 3, where you could actually do combos and Piccolo would stretch his limbs and everything, and you could keep your you could have a long reach and basically be like 8 feet away from your opponents and still do combos. So I'm glad this is being implemented in Sparking Zero. So that's when he fights Salsa. Oh man, Piccolo was that dude. He always had a way of taking out the jobbers, the jabronis of the henchmen in the Dragon Ball movies and stuff, man. Though to be honest, Salsa was actually he was a little bit he was a little bit tougher to beat. In fact, he was the last man standing at the end of Dragon Ball Z movie 5 with Cooler in it. I remember he comes out, he's like, oh, you guys look like you a bunch of deers in the headlights, you lose suckers. And then the Makokoto pole, aka Special Beam K, goes right through his sternum. He's like, oh, and he falls out. And Gohan's like, haha, I can see you, Mr. Piccolo. Piccolo was like somewhere on the other side of the forest, saw that, he was waiting for that mother. Piccolo was like, he couldn't finish him the first time because I think Cooler got to him and everything, but he's like, I'm waiting for you. Come on, I'm gonna be waiting for you. Where you at, mother effer? Where you at? There he is. Makokosan pole, special beam cannon, and boom, got him. As soon as he pulled out of them rocks, thought he was slick. Thought he was gonna just wait in there, wait for Cooler to get finished, wait for everybody that's gonna be done, and Salsa just comes up and boom, man. Man, 0001 says, blast, blast, blast as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Shout out to Remake style, man, who used to do those weekly tube show videos. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, man, 0001 showing how long he and I both have been in these internet streets, as he says. That's some old school YouTube right there, man. Don J says Salsa was pretty hard, even though he lost. Yeah, that's why I had to correct myself. I was like, yeah, I'm like, actually, Salsa was definitely beyond your typical jabroni and stuff. Like, yeah, he actually did put up quite a fight and was the last one standing in the end. So I give him credit. Yeah, but this fight with Piccolo and Salsa was pretty cool, just because they even had some references to Star Wars when they're flying through the forest. And now, man, that's looking good. That Makakoso Pole, aka Special Beam Canyon from Piccolo, looking good right there. So I can't wait to do this, man. Like, it's cool. Like, yeah, I mean, charging up the technique and hitting is cool, but when you got a cool animation, it just makes it more rewarding if this is gonna be a super rush attack. So just loving the Special Beam Canyon right there, and boom, and there we go. Yep, that's exactly how it almost killed him. Instead, it killed him from the back, but now it kills him in the front. So that looks devastating, right to the heart too. Oh, aiming for the heart. I hope this works on giants, man. Let me take a little break here. All right, so now we get to the next part of this. This also surprised me. I remember in the reaction trailer, I was like, oh, okay, what is Son Goku doing? Like, okay, he's powering up, and it was about right here. Yeah, I love the power up right there. He flies right there, and I'm like, oh man, it's looking awesome. And when I saw this shot, I knew immediately, like, oh snap, I didn't even need to see the rest of the technique. I could just tell, you know you're how big of a Dragon Ball fan I am when I could just recognize the frame by itself. I'm like, this is how he attacks Cooler. And right there when he comes in and boom, swings right at Cooler, bam, sends him out the frame. And I love that the eyes track and follow him and everything. So that was really awesome. And then I love right here this technique. This is where when Cooler does the Nova, does the Nova and stuff and stuff like that, when he does like the big giant death ball, like that was really awesome. Boom Kabao says, son, pretty good with these voices. If I was blind, the detail and voice make this awesome. You have a universal live stream. Hey, thank you, I appreciate that, Boom Kabao. Yeah, I gotta keep it entertaining and everything. And speaking of voicing, I might as well break out some more. What was so interesting about this, y'all, this was the most 0 to 100 thing in the Dragon Ball movie. Like Cooler, which I think Cooler versus Goku is one of the greatest Dragon Ball fights. It's up there as a great movie, but fight wise, I thought this was like one of the better fights. Like this fight was almost like 14-20 minutes. Like they gave this fight more screen time than they gave most wrestlers at WWE WrestleMania 42. That's how much time this one got. And so I remember this one. Goku goes SS1 after getting completely trashed by Cooler, and Cooler comes in with a fist, boom, punches Goku right in the sternum, and Goku's just here all type of aura farming. And then Cooler basically gets about like the 2 shots and stuff like this. Yeah, he gets boom 2 shots by Goku, and he basically takes his blast and he shoots Goku, does nothing. Goku's just standing there aura farming, and then he looks up and Cooler goes like, he has that cool voice filter in the dub. He goes like,
you shouldn't have taken your eyes off of me, Super Saiyan. Well, I can gather energy a lot faster than my brother. It is my will that you and this entire planet be annihilated.
And then he sends the supernova down, and Goku goes from aura farming to all like, oh crap, and he's like, and like, I'm like, whoa, how'd you go from completely, as they say in pro wrestling, no selling basically all of Cooler's attack to all of a sudden, man, after he grabs that big giant energy blast, boom, he's basically struggling. And I remember this is like when it was coming towards Goku, and yeah, I love the animation. Like, dude, they went hard with the animation right here. And then Goku ends up basically shooting the Kamehameha wave. He shoots it back, and I remember that they did a good job with this in the animation. But yeah, he sends it back, and Cooler basically is stuck on there, and he goes out the Earth's atmosphere and he goes towards the sun. And I just remember, man, Cooler had the cool thing where he goes like,
dirty little sticking sand, and he looks back and he's like, oh, it's the sun. Maybe I'll just burn that up and let them all freeze to death. Wait a minute, I'm headed right for it.
And he gets right into the sun, and the best part about it is he goes to the flashback where he's like, where he basically goes like,
wait a minute, I let him go, I remember now.
And they do that flashback, flashback where he goes like, should we go ahead and take that Saiyan out, son? He goes like, no, we shouldn't. This is Frieza's own mess. Let him clean it up. And besides, he's just a Saiyan child. He's no threat to us. And they go back and Cooler's like,
I let him go. I let him go.
and then he's like dies. And how the heck his eye and a piece of his brain survived and got enlarged for Meta Cooler, I don't know, but man, this moment was awesome, and I'm glad we get to actually do the ultimate in the game. Straight fire, man. Let's see what we got here. Don J says, I'm glad they put in Lord Chill. Now I know it's going to be good. Yeah, we're going to be getting to him soon. Man Trooper 01 says, Cooler had his mask ready for pre-COVID-19. It is still ain't save him from that ass whooping from Movie Goku. LMAFO. Yeah, go Movie Goku. Movie Goku is on a whole other level. He is on that Dekingen I usually say Deku Makin-san. Y'all, I'm butchering. I can't even pronounce. I can't even speak tonight. But y'all know that messed up stuff where it's like last minute and stuff. Things that Goku does, man. Like the amount. Like I'm putting it this way, y'all. Movie Goku, if you're a WWE fan, Movie Goku was John Cena, was Super Cena before Super Cena was long even a thing a whole decade and a half later. This man would get beat up and just come back with the most impossible wins ever. And so when people like to come up here and say, Goku always wins, Toriyama just made Goku's too indestructible, he just wins everything. No, he did not. No, he did not. Toriyama was actually very well at making Goku have vulnerabilities. Goku has literally only killed once you get to the second part of the manga in Z, do you realize in the Z portion alone, because Goku did a lot of killing in OG Dragon Ball, but in Z, he only killed was it Kid Buu and he helped play the role in Raditz, but it was like Kid Buu and there was one in Yakan, Kid Buu and helped play the role in Raditz. Like, yeah, like no, Toriyama, he made Goku relatable to a certain point. Like come on, it's the movies I think y'all thinking about. Goku's always making the impossible comebacks to the movies. Boom Kapow says, yes, I was thinking same thing there. I was thinking Goku would throw it back with ease. Yeah, so I'm interested to see how that goes. New game mode. All right, so this is the very exciting one, and honestly, the characters are all good, guys. The new characters for Sparking Zero, great, but right here is going to be, I think, the real longevity playing. So it looks like in order to access, we're going to go into Zeno's place and everything. And so he opens up his little God tablet and everything. That still cracks me up in Dragon Ball Super that they have a thing called GodTube, which is basically YouTube for gods. Cracked me up, man. One of the great funny things. Hopefully that stays in the remake, or if we'll get a remake. More about that later on in the analysis section of this live stream. All right, so step one, you have a map, which looks like it's going to be free roaming. Step two, you have the battle and the event, and in step three, you level up. So yeah, I'm really interested in this. I hope we get some cutscenes and stories. So I'm hoping that depending on who you choose, there's different type of cutscenes and characters and stories to go through. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and the fact that we can free roam. So that's awesome. You know, it's such a wide open area. So I don't know if there's going to be as much freedom as what you get in, say, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it and all that stuff. So definitely this is something that's going to be interesting. And so you select who you want to go with, and you fly off to that area. And so they show Goku flying, and then you get into the area, and there you have you see the big old Lord Slug there and stuff. So you can choose to fight him there, and then there you go, you have the battle, and then you level up and everything. So I hope this isn't a thing where it's just like, okay, you fly, you fight, you level up, and then that's it. Like, what makes these fights unique and everything. And they say it can play online and everything. So I think it'd be cool if there's a story behind it, but I am interested in the mode. So I really hope this mode delivers, because that's one of the biggest complaints I've heard about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And many people feel the game needs more offline content for the single player experience. So hopefully this battle mode delivers. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with it and everything. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be one of those fun things that makes you keep coming back to play more, and not just, okay, play it for a couple of days and then I'm done. So yeah, I'm very interested. So I'm really hoping that this game mode delivers and everything, and it'd be fun to maybe, hey, level up and see what happens and stuff. It's really cool. I'm glad they're improving the game. So I mean, yeah, you think about it, when Son Goku powers up into Ultra Instinct, yeah, that's exactly how the power and the aura is. So I'm glad that they're really adding that in and stuff like that. So that's really fantastic. Love that they're doing this. So I'm glad that they're upping the game. Like, man, look at the shine reflection onto the ground. Like, that's really awesome and everything. Look at the details. Even I think they've upped the stages. Like, look at the detail in, like, under power, where it says power. Look at the details they put into the crack of the ground there. So yeah, I'm glad they're upping the ante on all this stuff. 4 new stages. So yeah, I will say, to me, this is probably the most disappointing thing. There are so many more stages left in Tenkaichi 3, so many more, and I would love to see more. Man0001 says it's probably a grind fest, lol. Yeah, so we'll see how it is. If it's something you just gotta grind and just keep playing matches over, and you just get to fly quickly here, and then there you go. So yeah, we'll see how it is. Yeah, but I hope it is more unique than just that. But if you guys out there who do like to grind, hey, more power to you. Hope you enjoy it. Kame's Palace. This mode was in OG Tenkaichi 1, so I'm glad to see this going ahead, and Super Boo with the human extinction attack right there, and I love it, how much of it gets actually destroyed. And actually, this is really cool, because now that I remember, I don't think you could destroy it. You could always destroy the lookout portion of there, the part in the middle right there, but you can actually destroy the entire palace. Like, that's really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be something new, and loving it, the classic Go Tanks and Super Boo battle and everything. But what I would love to know is what's going to be the limit, because they always had it to where there was a magical barrier underneath where you could fight in the clouds. I would love it if you can knock them all the way down and fight near where Upa and his father lives in their village and stuff. That would be cool. You could do it in Budokai 1, where if you knocked them out, for those of you who play the PS2 games, you could knock them out and they would just go straight down, really just like straight down, and you could fight on there. So I would love to see that implemented in this game and stuff. There was a cool feature where if you knock the opponent out, they would fall off of the clouds and everything. So I'm interested how far we can explore here and everything. Don J says they got to bring in the stages for the Teen Shinha Dojo and Afterlife and the East Supreme Kai planet, just to name a few. He didn't write them like that. I just kind of defaulted to the Japanese names. But yeah, TN Dojo, Otherworld, and the Supreme Kai planet, just to name. They got to bring in the stages. The Supreme Kai planet is on the game though, from what I can remember. But yeah, I would love to play in the Teen Dojo, Tien Shinha's dojo, and the Afterlife. Yeah, get the Afterlife tournament in there, because yeah, and bring in Janemba. Bring in the Janemba stuff. I would love to see that. We get Roshi's Island, which was already in the game, but now you can play as it, which I always thought was funny. They have you do a battle with Raditz and Goku at the beginning of Goku story mode, and they just transport you to the island location, and then as soon as it's back, the cutscene just teleports you back here on Roshi's Island. So it's gonna be fun to play this and everything, and just boom, Raditz right here in one shot just destroyed Krillin, aka Krillin, right through Roshi's whole entire house. Like, that much of his house did not get destroyed when he originally knocked him in there. So I'm looking forward to playing that. That's gonna be fun. And then we get the glacier. Oh my gosh. We get it right where Vegeta and Broly and all the Broly fight. I'm so glad we're getting this stage in because Broly and all the attacks were such a big part of this. So we're gonna have that, but I guess we're not gonna have like the part where it becomes lava. But I don't know if this is exactly the Ice Age stage that they fought in. It just might be a generic one, which works for the movie 7 where they fight Super Android 13, so it works for there. But I'm glad we got the Ice Age. That was one of my favorite places to fight back in Tenkaichi 3, so I'm so glad the game is good. And I love that if you break the ground, you just go into the water, so that's something really nice and new. And then yeah, that was one of my favorite stages because they had a really deep setting in the water. Like you can go all the way to the surface of the water, and then they had like this one giant crack you could go into and play even deeper in there. So I'm looking forward to this stage being added for sure. And then we've got Planet Vegeta where they're in the stratosphere with Bardock up against Frieza. So you got Frieza's ship in the background. So I'm glad that this is being brought back because this is where the classic iconic battle happened and everything. So loving this. We got the blast and everything. I'm glad this is back. Hopefully you can still fight on Frieza's spaceship too, because that was another thing that was really cool about playing on that. It was such a wide open area, and I used to love flying through there. And you could destroy Frieza's spaceship, and as you destroy, they had all the details in there in the game. So that was really cool to see. And they got the stratosphere for Earth, where Son Goku and Beerus fight. This is of course where Goku and he absorbed the key of Super Saiyan God, and it strengthen his regular SS1 form up to fight on the God tier level. So obviously it's crazy because we're actually about to see this soon in see this again in Dragon Ball Super Beerus, which I'll have more coming up soon here in the analysis. As that's going to be in our next breakdown actually coming up. And so you get the big Kamehameha blast right there, and I'm really loving it. Like that looks awesome. I think is this in the game? I feel like this attack is in the game already, or if it's not, it looks even more better. So the new battle system. So now you can chain blasts together. So I really love that. You got Goten knocking up Broly there. The fact they're showing this tells me they're not probably going to have Broly's second movie where he had the scar and everything in the yellow, because that was I think an extra. That was actually an extra. What was it? It was actually an extra costume you could play as, I think, in Tenkaichi 3. So I would love if they actually brought that back. So yeah, you got Goten launching Broly in the game, and then future Gohan comes in and he comes out and teleports and then basically does that. I thought you could actually do this on Sparking Zero. You just had to be really strict with your timing, or maybe now it's a thing where it does it automatically when you chain out and everything, you tag out. So this is gonna be really cool. Any way to help the game's tag team system feel more better. Like I don't know if they're planning to eventually go like Tenkaichi tag team, but being able to chain those together, I think is really cool. So I'm really loving that. You got Frieza right there, basically doing the kick to Vegeta, sending them down. It teleports out. Captain Ginyu comes in and teleports in, does his technique. So this is gonna be really cool. Sparking boost. So I'm guessing this is gonna be similar to what you could do in Raging Blast 2, where they had like a soul mode, like Sparking Soul or something like that. So I think that'll be pretty cool. See what comes out of this, because I know on the game when you go in Sparking mode, you're already pretty more powerful. So I guess we'll see what this does. Maybe makes the ultimate attacks better. So we're seeing that with SS4 Gogeta. I still haven't seen this attack in its full glory yet, but I will be getting there soon in my upcoming Sparking Zero live streams. So just love the techniques and all that stuff. So if you guys notice, this is Namek. This is Dying Namek, which looks similar to the Lava Age, but I guess they're not making a whole battlefield for that. And Goku goes, and I'm thinking it must be very hard to make the new stages, because the fact that this game is a year and a half old at this point, nearly almost, and we've only gotten essentially by this summer 5 playable stages must be the really difficult part of making, I have to imagine. But yeah, loving SS Blue Goku flying right towards there, and they started playing Zero, which is Hironobu Kageyama. Glad to have him back as the official theme for the game. So yeah, we've seen this before with Goku and Vegeta just bodying Broly all over the place. Loving it, the double kick, and then them doing the Kamehameha Gallic Gun. I really love this part right here where you get Oob tossing Son Goku around and stuff, just like we saw. This popped me again. I was not expecting Mighty Mass, so now we can have a proper 18 because they got her Majin Buu outfit. Now we can have a proper battle with Mighty Mass. I wonder if when you battle damage them, if it's gonna be Goten and Trunks, Goten Trunks or Trunks on Goten's shoulders and stuff. I wonder if they can switch around, like if there's techniques where they will switch around, because sometimes Goten and Trunks would trying to figure out 18. They would switch in the actual manga and anime. I don't know if it was in the manga because I don't think I read that portion of manga. There may have been a portion in the anime only. So I'd be interested though if they do put that as a nod. So yeah, we're gonna get to play as Mighty Mass, not the Mighty Mass who they jumped, but the Goten and Trunks version of the Mighty Mass. So hopefully we can go SS1 in there, because they did do that and it was like blowing up their whole outfits and stuff like that. So yeah, like somebody put a fan up in their shirt and it just kind of blew the air out. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's really cool too. It looks like Chilai and I don't know if Limo's in the game. Is it Lamo? I forget. What's his name? Limo? Yeah, Limo. But it looks like he's gonna be a part of her ultimate and everything. So that's gonna be really cool to see. Can't wait to see what type of techniques they do. Like, man, look at that big blast. Like, oh, Mess and Frieza soldier, all kinds of ways up. This was great to see us. Like, we got Dragon Ball GT 18 in the game. Like, that is awesome. Like, let's go. I really hope, and it looks like it's just going to be a different outfit for her current game, for her current character. But I'm hoping this means, since we got tag team techniques, I really hope that you can team her and Kid Goku up in the game and they have an ultimate, the one that took out Super 17, because Son Goku and 18 are my two favorite characters in terms of like my favorite male character, my favorite female character. So when I heard in Dragon Ball GT that my favorite male and female character were going to team up and be able to defeat a main villain in Super 17, I was like, let's go. So we need that part. I want to see it. If you take Kid Goku up, base Kid Goku with 18, I want to see where 18 basically and 17 had a role to play now, where 18 shoots her ki blast at Kid Goku and Kid Goku goes flying through her blast with the real Kin, aka Dragon Fist. In obviously the anime, there's a barrier that keeps Super 17 from absorbing her ki blast, but then yeah, Goku goes through with the Dragon Fist right through the gut and then does 3 Kamehamehas just like he did against Super 17, which was that effect where he like shriveled up like paper and disintegrated into nothingness. Was really awesome. So glad to see that 18 has her GT outfit. Like, they really went all out. I think at this point we just about got every version of 18. I don't know if they'll include her in the Z outfit, but she never really fought in that. But yeah, at least every outfit that 18 fought in, I'm glad that that's in the game. So this is really cool. Loving that they're going all out for the costumes and stuff. We get the East Kaioshin, aka Shin, aka the Supreme Kai. What was his name in Dragon Ball Daima? We've learned his real name. I forgot it. Let me see. What was it? Man, I can't believe it. I used to know this stuff. I know it starts with an N. The Supreme Kai's real name in Daima. Man, it's been like a whole year since I last covered Dragon Ball Daima. Nahare, there we go. It was Nahare. Okay, Nahare. That's what it was. Okay, Nahare was what it was. So, yeah, Nahare. Hey, there we go. It's been a while since I remember following Dragon Ball Daima. But yeah, Nahare does the cool technique. It looks really sick. Yeah, hopefully they got him cooler in this game than what he was, because he's kind of like the Yamcha of all the Supreme Kais and Kaioshins and stuff. Yes, oh OG Dragon Ball. I am glad to see we got Android number 8 back, aka I think in the dub is he called Ader. I forget if he was in the I watched OG Dragon Ball in Japanese as well, but it's been so long. I forget if he was called Ader as well in the Japanese version. But yeah, I'm glad that he is back, and he always has some really cool rush attacks and stuff. So glad to see what he's going to be doing, put him up against the androids. Namu is back. Love it, dude. He had one of the sickest attacks in the game. I love it when he would come down, the way he would technique. So when he comes down, he comes full weight down with his arms crossed and crushes your neck. It is one of the most brutal, sickest ultimates in Tenkaichi 3, and I'm look like they're bringing it back, so I can't wait. So this one is much more expressive than what Tenkaichi 3 was, so I'm glad Namu is back. Loving that they're showing all this much love to OG Dragon Ball, so can't wait to play that. We got General Blue. Look like his ultimate is going to be where he brings into his spaceship and starts shooting you. So I'm glad to see General Blue back. More love for OG Dragon Ball, but we don't got a lot of OG Dragon Ball arenas in this game and stuff. Like, I would love to play the actual Tenkaichi Budokai that was much smaller from OG Dragon Ball. But yeah, his character model looks awesome and everything. We got and then that's when the technique goes by and the ship flies by, and we got Lord Chill, who was Frieza's descendant that Bardock goes Super Saiyan against. As y'all can see, I already rocking the Bardock tank top and everything. Shout out to Just Saying. Unfortunately, they're no longer in business, but yeah, that's where I got the tank top from. But yeah, because I was wondering, were we just getting Bardock in there just to be in there as a Super Saiyan? But we get Chill in there, so that's gonna be cool. Yeah, this in terms of shows, I remember this special was it was something that didn't really make sense when trying to link it up with Dragon Ball. Just didn't make sense at all. It was like the story of how the first legendary Super Saiyan, so like Bardock goes back in time after getting killed by Frieza, or it prevents him, and he beats Frieza's ancestor, and that's the story of how the legendary Super Saiyan was born, that would come into play 10,000 years later when Goku would eventually end up avenging his father and the Saiyajins. And like, if that sounds whacked out and messed up, it's because it is. It's one giant mess that it doesn't really make much sense and everything. That being said, like I say, when it comes to Dragon Ball, I don't get lost in all these canon debates and whatnot. I just take Dragon Ball as, hey, everything kind of has its own different continuity, and I just enjoy it. But that being said, yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing Chill come in there. I wonder if we're gonna get is it Kuriza or something like that? Frieza's son that was actually in Budokai 2. That'd be cool. So yeah, loving that we got Chill and SS Bardock in the game. And his techniques is gonna look awesome. So that's gonna be really great to see how that goes. Don J214 says, I'm waiting for them to put Arale in the roster included. Yeah, hopefully we get her. I remember, man, 2007 when Arale was announced, people were so livid. Like, why are you wasting time? And everybody that was Akira Toriyama fans like, I love that they're putting the Dr. Slump character in there and stuff like that. And I haven't been a big follower of Dr. Slump and everything. One of these days I would probably like to read it just to get a more thorough, better understanding of Akira Toriyama and stuff, because I know he's a gag manga artist, but I feel like that would give me a more bigger appreciation. So one of these days I got to get to Dr. Slump. But that being said, I remember when you played as Arale, she was one of the most overpowered characters that was on a god tier level. She had break wall effects. She was one of the few that could punch Broly without having the need to add on like the Pataros that would allow you to be able to break through the brick wall effect. And she was so fun to play as because she had these characters like boom boom boom, and she would do the run waka waka waka. Man, it was like she was a blast to play with. And I remember once you played with her in the game, people loved Arale. It was like, oh man, we didn't know she was gonna be so god tier, and that was great for Spike because you introduce Arale and people are like, what the heck is this? And then you play, it's like, oh, we want this to be in the game because, oh, we didn't know she was gonna be this powerful. And it really is, because Arale, I think she's like an android, and she's strong enough with just her fists. With just her fists, she can break the entire Earth in half. So yeah, that made sense. I remember she was in Dragon Ball Super and completely made Vegeta look like a jabroni. And we got, of course, Salsa, who did have that cool technique where he has the key blade in his arm. So I'm glad that he's being in it, and this just looks awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be loving playing Salsa. And this is where we have it. There she is, Shirapa, aka Fasha, in the Funimation dub and stuff like that. Man, I am so glad she is returning, one of Bardock's men. I talked about Namu having one of the most devastating neck cracking finishers in Dragon Ball. Man, Shirapa, aka Fasha, her finisher where she just like beats the crap out of you, and then she jumps on your shoulders and clutches your neck with her ankles, and then flies right down towards the camera while she's got your whole body dangling like this, and then she lands full body weight right on your head, crushing it. Crushes the person. It's devastating. One of the most brutal finishers in Tenkaichi 3. I think it was called like Hysterical Lady or something like that. It's been a while since I played her, but yeah, I'm glad to see her coming back in the game, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get the rest of her of Bardock's men. So yeah, because we got Shirapa, aka Fasha, in the dub. We've got Tatepa, aka Borgas, in the English dub, in the Funimation dub. We got Pambuki, aka Shugash, in the Funimation dub as well. So hopefully they make their way, because I'm like, yo, we can play as Bardock Squad, Bojack Squad, the Ginyu Force, androids like Jinzo Negan, all that stuff. I would absolutely love it. So I am definitely glad to see Shirapa, aka Fasha, back in the game. That's gonna be fun to see and stuff like that and play. And I'm hoping too, because they said over 30 characters, she was actually able to turn into the Ozaru, and I'm hoping they bring in regular Ozaru, and we can do that cool technique, because in the game, in Sparking Zero, you can create the Blutz Wave technique to allow Vegeta to transform into the Ozaru, aka Great Ape. But what was really cool in some of the nighttime scenes, and this goes back to like they had the desert, they had so many cool OG Dragon Balls. Like I think Don J in the chat mentioned too, there was other places like that you could play in from OG Dragon Ball. Like I remember you had Penguin Village, you had the city where Goku beat Piccolo Daima, aka King Piccolo, in. I hope they add that, but some of these areas had had a nighttime portion, and they would have the full moon up, so you could actually transform characters that weren't Saiyajins, that weren't strong enough to form the blood, weren't strong enough to make the Blutz waves. They could look at the moon and transform, and some of them, like the stronger ones like Nappa, they maintain their conscience, but the reptilian part of the mind would take over, if that's the word. Reptilian is the receptacle, the part where you don't think straight, basically that part would take over the mind, then, and I probably got that word wrong, butchered that, but yeah, that part takes over the mind, and with that they would be like just a screaming ape. Then you had the other ones that could fight. It was like, be aware, Shin, that a Saiyajin's power increases tenfold, right? So hopefully they bring that in there and stuff like that. In the chat, Don J says, Arale is Dragon Ball version of One Punch Man. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Graven Smith, 4555, sorry if I butchered your name, says, I am beyond excited for Kageyama-san's new song. Yes, I am glad. Legendary Kageyama back. I hope he comes back to do some of the stuff in actual Dragon Ball Super anime and stuff. Thanks for joining the chat, by the way. So yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. What was I thinking? Yeah, that was Toma, aka Tora. So yeah, he is in the game. So that's cool. He's Bardock's favorite. He was Bardock's best friend and stuff like that, and the one that was the catalyst for how Bardock got so angry that he took that cloth off and he basically stained it red with his blood. So I'm glad he's in it. So I'm hoping that we do end up getting Totepa and Pambukin, aka Boris and Shugesh. Hopefully we get them in the game, because I would love to play as all of Bardock's men and stuff like that. So yeah, this is looking cool. I think it's gonna be our first time in Sparking Zero. Love they got the traditional Super 17 hair back where he puts the hair back. So that's really awesome. Glad to see that. SSJ Bardock, like I said, representing Bardock and stuff. And this is the Bardock that I think all of us loved. You know, like I said, I don't have much problem with the Dragon Ball minus version, but man, yeah, SS Bardock, super glad. Loving the way he throws Frieza and stuff. Did he just throw Frieza with his 2 fingers? That's ball stuff right there. I'm not gonna grab your toes by your hand. I'm just gonna take my 2 fingers and toss you in the air. Ball stuff. Loving the design, loving the details that Spike put into the game. And Frieza flying. Flying off back there, and Bardock is keeping on them, like boom, about to fly away and stuff like that. They show SS Trunks there. Is this SS gonna be SS2 Trunks? But yeah, oh no, this is a new outfit, right? Yeah, this is the outfit that he has. Basically he kills the future version of 17 and 18. Hopefully they got through they should have that cool technique where he killed both of them in there. So hopefully they added that. More GT Trunks, and yes, we got Pan here. So I think this is an ultimate attack with Pan. Basically, yeah. So, oh yes, we're gonna get we're getting 3-way team attacks. So I'm glad they bring that back. Hopefully they bring that back for Goku, Krillin, aka Krillin, and Gohan for the Genki Dama that they use to try and take Vegeta out. So yeah, we got Trunks, GT Trunks coming in on baby Vegeta, and then Pan goes right in there, boom, kicks him out of frame, and then Kid Goku comes up from behind. Love the anguish on baby Vegeta's face there, and punches him there. And oh yes, this is my jam, man. This is my jam right here. So this frame right here where Son Goku flies up into the sky past the camera, Pan does the whole hand thing, you know, where she opens her arms basically to the camera and flies out, and then Trunks basically, you know, does the whole does the basis see ya and everything right there. I love this because this is a complete nod, and I just love how much attention to detail Spike puts in. This is Dan Kokoro in Dragon Ball GT. Make sure I got the name right. Yeah, y'all know the song. It was like Dan Kokoro. Oh man, I completely butchered that. Let me make sure I pronounce it. I had to put this in my notes so I don't butcher the because my Japanese is horrible. But yeah, it was this song. It was like Dan kokoro hikarete ku zin zin, you know, dun 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 dun. You know, okay, enough of that. But yeah, man, I love this song. This is my favorite song. Dan kokoro hikake. See, I always good at saying the first part, Dan Kokoro. I can do that, but I have to look at my notes to get the last part of it. Dan Kokoro Dan Kokoro hikareteku. Man, that is my favorite all-time theme in Dragon Ball GT. The only thing that gives it is kind of even with it is Limit Breaker X Survivor. Yeah, that is like my favorite. Those are two of my favorite. But yeah, I think it was Field of View that made this song. This song is such a beautiful song. Dragon Ball GT Dan Kokoro hikareteku. Man, that is it is. That's the thing. Dragon Ball. Say what you want about Dragon Ball GT. The music. Holy crap. The music was fire. Absolutely. The music that they use, the theme songs, just absolute fire. And I remember too, like I'm gonna give him a shout out right now too, because I don't have my notes. DBGT composer in Japanese. I want to make sure I give him all the praise. Yes, it was Hakito Tokunaga. Yeah, Tokunaga. Yes. Haito Tokunaga. Trying to get the Japanese right. Yeah. Hakito Tokunaga. Told y'all my Japanese is bad. Haito Tokunaga. Kunaga. Haito. Okay. Haito Tokunaga. Yeah, I think it is. Sorry, I butchered the name, but I just wanted to give shout out and praise to him because he did a really good job with the Japanese composing music, which is why I love it way more than the English dub composing music. And then when it came to the intro song, so much great songs. Can't You See? Or I Love Blue Velvet. Like running into a hurricane. Like, man, I love what was it, Juan? Something like that, where it shows all the Gokus walking. Even the first one. Dude, yeah, I know I'm geeking out right now, but I love the music in Dragon Ball GT. That's what I'm saying, man. GT kind of really had almost everything going right for it outside of the biggest thing that was the most important thing, and that was story. Man, boo. Ah, dude, this is so nostalgic. This whole thing took me back, man. Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, man. Don J says, Goku Jr. from GT had a red headband. It reminded me of Bardock. Yeah, I remember that at the end. I really love that design choice, too. He also says, GT Pan should have been stronger because I felt like she should have inherited Gohan's hidden potential. Yeah, that would have been nice, but the writers of GT had other plans, unfortunately, which is why I'm hoping that Toyotaro, especially after what I saw of Pan and Dragon Ball Superhero, hopefully he does right by Pan when he gets to that portion of the story. Says, when they bring Dragon Ball Super back, they should make the human Z fighters get their potentials unleashed included. Yes, I said if you can bring Piccolo and bring him on God tier level, I don't see any reason why you can't make up anything as a human. But I don't know if Toriyama ever left notes behind that, and then it's gonna be one of those things where, well, if Toriyama didn't never intend to do that, then should they respect his wishes moving? Should Toyotaro respect his wishes moving forward? So guess we're gonna have to see on that. Hey, thanks for the follow, Smith. I really appreciate that. So yeah, we got OG Dragon Ball, and yeah, this character model looks a lot better than the way his character model has looked in the game. So I very much am glad. Yes, because they had like this black shirt that he never really wear. So they finally fixed Kid Goku's character model. Yeah, so that's really cool. I'm loving that and everything. About time we can finally put Kid Goku up against some of his fellow people that he fought up against in Dragon Ball. And so that's really cool. I'm loving that. I'm loving more of the costumes. SS1 Gohan, that's what he was wearing during the Wait to the Cell games. I remember this one. This is where he basically scared the crap out of the mechanical version of Tao Pai Pai in that filler dub. So that's really awesome. And then, yes, we got SS1 Goku in the jacket. This is what he's wearing during the Wait for the Cell games. You could only, if I remember right, you could only play as this version of Goku all the way back in Budokai 1. That's crazy. We haven't been able to play as Goku with this drip since Budokai 1. So shout out to Spike really going all out. Because, it's when games do just like different color swaps, it's like, I love having the different outfits and stuff. Man, Triple 01 chat says he looks evil, LOL. Gohan drip, Goku drip. Yeah, those are some really cool drips that I remember them and stuff and everything. Limit breaker. Yeah, so we're getting back to where Goku, he's able to do the Kamehameha. This is the final Kamehameha that Goku ever did in the manga from Akira Toriyama. I think so. Yeah, I think that was it. And then in the anime, I know I did read the last chapter of the manga, so I think he does actually do that and everything. It's been so long though. Hopefully I plan on doing a whole read through of the Dragon Ball manga eventually on this channel. But yeah, I'm loving the Kamehameha. This is the final one. This low key, this has got to be the most overpowered Son Goku, because as Super continues and as Dragon Ball Super just continues going by further and further, it's one of those things where, man, this just makes base Goku even more god tier, because we know how strong he's gotten through all these battles in Dragon Ball Super as it takes place within that 10-year time skip. So I'm looking at this like, yo, this Goku's Kamehameha has got to be on god tier level. Just imagine how strong he is in his base form. We already know how strong Oob is by when we see what happens at the end of the Moral arc. So man, this Goku's on a whole different level. Like, the amount of god level tier power force that is in this Kamehameha. This is a Son Goku in base form that has gotten so strong from all his battles with Jiren, Broly, Moro, Granola, just unbelievable power. So I mean, like, yeah, this Goku got to be like one of the most beast power. And look at the fury, the ferocity in that Goku. And I think he held this Kamehameha back because Oob didn't know how to fly or something like that. And look at the power, like, oh my gosh, look at the explosion. Oh, so good. And then they come in with Neo, Dragon Ball Super Limit Breaking Neo. Fantastic, man. I love it. Dragon Ball Super Limit Breaking Neo. Absolutely great, because this is obviously a tribute to Dragon Ball Sparking Neo. That's what it was called, Tenkaichi 2 in the Japanese version, which I always thought was funny, is that they gave North America the Japanese title, Tenkaichi Budokai, and reflated as Budokai Tenkaichi. And then in Japan, they give it the English title, Sparking, right? So this is a good sign, because if they're obviously doing Neo, I wouldn't be surprised come 2027, they do another massive update for this game and probably call like Super Limit Breaking Meteor in tribute to Tenkaichi 3. So yeah, they absolutely slapped with this. Like, Spike went way, like I said, I was overwhelmed when I did my trailer reaction and stuff and everything. Like, holy crap, that went way further. They went harder than I thought. And the thing is, we're still not done yet. They still got more characters to announce. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will be doing a live stream with the new Sparking Zero Neo DLC when it comes out. So I'll be looking forward to playing these characters and playing as the signature attacks and seeing what their ultimate attacks are going to be. Just hopefully after done playing the game, there's more that the game will have to offer with those new game modes. So definitely looking forward to that, man. Like I said, this is all looking good. 4 new stages, more characters, new customs, ultimates, new game mode. I even love the new artwork done by Norihiro Shintani, who did the Dragon Ball Super Broly animation, was at least was the main director of the animation, and might be coming back for Moro as well. So yeah, this was just fire, straight absolute fire. Love it. Let's see, Don J says, I also want to mention that Tien should get more shine because he trains hard, and they shortchange him in the power gap with Yamcha and Krillin. Yeah, he was that dude. I always said the incredible thing about Teen Shinha to me that always really stood out when it came to the Cell Saga, it wasn't the fact necessarily that he was able to use the Kiko Hole and basically aka Neo Tri-Beam, and he kept pushing Semi-Perfect Cell down like over and over. It's the fact that Semi-Perfect Cell never powered out over that. He literally had to wait till Teen Shinha gave out And then Teen Shanai got up and, you know, he's all angry like,
I should feel ridiculous. How could a mere mortal be able to...
no, he's like,
I should feel ridiculous. How could I let myself be defeated by such a weakling?
something like that. He sounded like that or whatever. But yeah, I was like, man, it always made me wonder, what if he did it against someone like Frieza, if he's able to keep semi-perfect sales power down like that? I know he had to rely on his life force and stuff like that. And you also say when they go further in Dragon Ball Super, they then reintroduce GT. I hope after they show an anime version of Age 1000. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get another Dragon Ball GT, but I think we will see more GT concepts basically make their way into Dragon Ball, like we got Super Saiyajin 4 for Dragon Ball Daima, or like how one of the gods is the green machine looking one. He is a direct reference to Lude from who was the big villain they faced before they went into fighting the machine mutants like General Rildo and stuff, getting into the Baby Saga and stuff like that. All right, take another break. Got one more breakdown to go here. Thank y'all so much for being alive in the chat tonight. I really appreciate y'all as we go through this and everything here. All right, so Dragon Ball Super Beerus. So we got a new trailer that dropped, and the animation, y'all, is looking absolute fire. Look at that explosion. Just look at this, man. Huge. That's when the planet blows up from Beerus being destroyed. Look at the surrounding area. Has King Kai, aka the North Kyle-sama's planet surroundings, ever looks so devastating for a battle. Like this brings the hype for the battle, like even more so than what the movie did. And you get the explosions and stuff. And what I really enjoy here, they are actually, and I like the fun loving Beerus in movie one and stuff, but in terms of making Beerus look a lot more sinister, they definitely go out there with the shading and stuff like that. So Beerus definitely looks much more menacing. Love the way planet Earth looks awesome. I love the new lighting design. I have watched some side by sides and everything. So this definitely is way more just the angle, the lighting, just what they're doing here is phenomenal. Like this makes the fight feel like a bigger deal. In the original one, it's just Beerus and Goku looking at each other with very bright, vibrant colors. Here we get some really nice backlighting shots and stuff, and you got Goku looking serious. Even I couldn't even notice, but there's a sweat. You see, this is what I noticed in these breakdowns. You see a sweat going from Goku, so it's showing a little nervous here, and you see how Beerus is looking a lot more menacing. Like, all right, Saiyan, you really want? Well, he's like, all right, Saiyan, you really want to try me? A god. And I love it, just the more menacing. We got SS God Goku, we got Vegeta with the wide-eyed Beerus. Like the way these eye shots, man, and the shadows, just really awesome how they're using it. This is another redrawn frame right here that looks so much cleaner with SS Goku flying into the sky. And they fixed this. I think there was an anatomical issue with his leg in the original 2015 anime, but here they've got it completely fixed. Goku looking absolutely on point, anatomically correct, and flying into the sky. And you got Beerus right there looking much more angry and catching Goku's fist right there. Goku flying out of frame, and you got the Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan aura, looking really awesome. I love the backlighting shots you got here from Mr. Satan, aka Mark Satan. If you were to that one interview that Toriyama revealed his name, Bluma, aka Boma, Piccolo, and I love just the technique of how they're flying in the sky. Really looking awesome here. This is a shot right here that actually is a direct, not so much redrawn frame, a direct shot that they just enhance with the shading and stuff, and they remove some of the highlights, I think. That looks awesome right there. The way SS Goku looks trying to punch Beerus with his fists and everything. And what's very interesting, and I've noticed this through the trailer, is in the 2015 version, there's a lot of Beerus basically where he's looking impressed. Like I was mentioning earlier with Xenoverse, you get a lot of people in Dragon Ball where they're like, oh, but Beerus is just, he's like, all right, Saiyan, you look me a little bit impressed. A little impressed. Like Beerus is like, okay, you got a little something. So it's like they're making Beerus basically look slightly impressed, but not fully taken off guard by the power Son Goku displays, which is going to really go more into putting Beerus on this much more higher tier level than Son Goku. Maybe they felt, and I guess this is supposed to be more closer to Toriyama's vision, so maybe in the anime, in the movie and the anime, they wanted to make Beerus look more concerned. But here, Toriyama's true vision was to make Beerus look like, okay, I'm slightly impressed, but not so much that you're gonna throw me off guard. So I really love that they've actually done that with his facial expressions. Don J in the chat says, I also found out a while ago that Teen Shinha is technically a hybrid like Gohan, even though he is mostly human because he is a descendant of the alien tribe Triclops race. Yeah, he did find enlightenment and everything with his third eye and stuff. And so getting back to the breakdown here with the Flash, you get Beerus, and yeah, he smiles. So like I said, he's like, oh, a little impressive, but not enough. A little impressive, but not enough, basically, with his facial devious smile there. So I'm literally loving that. So they're keeping the whole part where Goku and Beerus are fighting in the stratosphere of the planet right there. So this is like the actual very end of the battle when Goku loses all energy. He uses the last bit of his Super Saiyan God, aka Super Saiyan God in the Funimation dub, basically to power out of Beerus's death ball of destruction, flaming death ball of destruction that was. And I'm loving this right here. So we got Super Saiyan Goku, aka Super Saiyan Goku in the Funimation dub, with the purple aura surrounding him and super with Beerus's god tier power and stuff, or divine key and stuff. So that's really awesome. I really do love the lighting and shading. I think that's the sun right behind Beerus and everything, but you see like it looks purple. Just really awesome. Like a lot of time and efforts put into this animation, so much more than what we got in the original anime. And you see this right here, the way the light, the sun is got Beerus with backlighting, and Goku. I love that Goku, he's lit up because of the SS aura that he's got around him. So I love the way they did the stars, the way they made space look like. Even they're going hard on even how they make space look in this. So that's really good. This shot right here, Goku going the Kamehameha. This is awesome. I love the golden glow on him, and then Beerus right here. Once again, like Beerus looking basically not super impressed with Goku's power. Like he's got this, like he is calm as ever. Like I love the way he's drawn everything. The battle starts, the big giant Nova shoot wave blast, looking fantastic, looking absolutely awesome. And then we get Goku and Beerus colliding here. This is one of the parts that I said I did enjoy in the anime, where it was explained to us that basically they're controlling their divine power so much that if they didn't control it, it would send a shockwave strong enough to wipe out the entire universe. So it looks like they're keeping that in there. And because I think Dragon Ball Super Beerus is going to be about like 6 or 8 episodes long, I'm not sure on the full total yet, but it's going to be much shorter than what the anime, and just it's going to be much shorter than the anime from 2015, but probably longer than the movie from 2013. So they're keeping this in here, but it's not going to be like an anime where they were colliding their fists for like 20 minutes straight. And I'm like, okay, we get the point. I'm like, yeah, we don't have to even go through there. And then I love the animation and everything, and how they're fighting. And this is looking really awesome. They got the auras working, the elbows colliding. I'm loving the choreography and loving how Beerus stops him right there. Just love it. Goku kicking him right there. And then they even do the purple ki blast with Beerus. So that's really awesome to see the ki blasts are purple to match Beerus aura. That is fantastic. Loving that. They even make this technique just look even more devastating and stuff like that. Beerus basically, bam, right there. It's too bad on this shot, when I put these screenshots together, I didn't get where they had like the little purple balls, energy key, defined key balls near Beerus. Only got the explosion here, but it is what it is. Loving Beerus basically trapping Goku with the fist right there. And then yes, they that's the flaming supernova that he was going to use to try and blow up Earth with. And Goku, I love the facial expression right here, showing the struggle on Goku's face. I'm not sure how much of that was in the 2015 anime. So then that was a really cool part. That's where Goku thinks of his family and friends. For everybody who wants to say Goku's a terrible family man, no, he wasn't, because he was thinking about his friends and family in this moment and used it to channel himself to get it out to Super Saiyan God and save the Earth. So I really love that, aka Super Saiyan God in the Funimation dub. So those of you out there know that I am aware how it's said in the English dub as well. And then I love the purple ki blast right there. It's so awesome. And yeah, they're doing a lot of those lighting effects that you see a lot in the Tournament of Power. And just all this looks so much clean, just so much more cleaner with the way Beerus is flying towards her. I love it, man. And then we get the Kamehameha right there, looking awesome. Beerus with the narrow eyes. And this is one of those shots that pretty much remain unchanged from the 2015 anime. But Son Goku right here, he is looking fantastic. They enhanced it. Like I said, not everything in Dragon Ball Super is remade from the ground up for this Dragon Ball Super Beerus. It's enhanced. And that was a good shot. I think this is when Beerus gets shot in the stomach with a punch by Son Goku. Loving the Kamehameha, loving how menacing Beerus is looking there. Like, I think they're in the water and everything. Like I said, the way they did space, they did a lot of really good job with the contrast of space and everything. So that's looking awesome. Love the purple ki blast, the black lighting, just everything. They even do the inverted effect here, so he kicks it. This is another shot that was directly from the original 2015 anime of Dragon Ball Battle of Gods arc, but they got the purple lighting, so making sure the atmosphere looks really good. Same thing with Piccolo and Gohan there. Beerus once again looking more menacing, even with these close-up shots. It looks like they're fighting far above the clouds, so as you can see, they're in the clouds. I love the way they did the aura on Super Saiyan God Goku, aka Super Saiyan God Goku, in the Funimation dub. And you see right there, they're above the clouds, not so close to the water, so which is definitely a big change from what they had before. And we get here Goku doing the Kamehameha, the cool purple aura of Beerus. I just love these shots. Like, I love these backlighting shots when they do the giant blast, the Kamehameha right there. You see Goku, like, I think they did something similar with Goku, but they didn't do the blue lighting atmosphere, and it just always looks so much more cooler when they do that. And I love that the aura, though, still remains yellow and gold and everything like that, so that it maintains with this is a whole different light source coming from within him, and he's created another separate light source with his hand. So I really love all this stuff. I'm an artist myself and everything. I don't draw as much anymore days, but I do have a bachelor's degree in illustration and stuff. So all this stuff about lighting and backlighting and stuff like that, and it trying to be anatomically correct and stuff. I know very much all about this when it comes to art. Anybody who's an artist is familiar with these things. So you have to have a very good, important understanding of this stuff. And clearly these animators always did, but the time they had to, the very limited time that they were given back in 2015 with that rush job, they couldn't apply all that, making it look like they didn't understand it. But here, where you're giving these animators the time that they absolutely deserve and have earned with the work that they have put in over the decades, you're doing a much better job making it look like they absolutely know how to, because at the end of the day, these animators do know how to. And I'm really loving that. Dragon Ball Super Beerus. I also mentioned I love the music that they've used in both these trailers. So I don't know if Norihito Sumitomi is coming back. If I said his name right, or I maybe got it mixed up, I forget. But I don't know if Sumitomi is coming back for the music, but the music that they've given us so far for Dragon Ball Super Beerus definitely sounds really awesome. So I really do absolutely enjoy. And then we got our teaser of what's coming next as well in this fall, and it most likely look like it's going to be Dragon Ball Super Frieza. So they're doing the Resurrection F arc, which, like I said in my last live stream, man, I was saying, oh boy, anything in Dragon Ball Super that needs a remake it is certainly the Resurrection F arc that they made in 2015 for the anime. And so we see Frieza growing his limbs, and I think this is even cooler than what we got in the movie and the definitely the anime. So that's really cool, showing you how Frieza's arms and limbs are coming back, because then it makes sense that it's his first form, because remember, it's their first form that they have data on when it comes to Frieza, his subordinates and everything, because that's what we're seeing right here. His subordinates, they only knew Frieza's first form because, as mentioned in Zarbon, like I think it was something along the lines where only Zarbon knew, and he only knew it based on rumors, that Frieza had a second form. Like he spit it out to Vegeta when he transformed. You know, Vegeta, you should know that Frieza, he can transform as rumor has it, and they say his power might be 1 million. That means you're no match for Lord Frieza. And then you had Vegeta going, huh, that's absurd. I want to see your transformation. Let's see, and I'll see by myself if Vegeta, or he was like, I'll see by myself if Frieza can actually transform to 1 million. That's absurd. So yeah, something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing you guys. But yeah, that being said, we got Frieza in his first form, totally making sense that with that data, they can bring him back. What doesn't make sense, and I don't know if it was Toriyama or if it was Yamamuro himself that actually made the concept art, but they actually show in the concept art Frieza is pretty much butt naked, and he has his natural armor on him. And you all will remember in the fight with Vegeta early on, after Vegeta is able to match his strength in his first form, that's when Vegeta mentions that your Zarbon is the one who mentioned it, Frieza, that you could transform. When Frieza does that, Frieza goes ahead and powers up. He says, be aware though, in my new form, Vegeta, that my power level is over 1 million. And then he breaks out of the armor, the Saiyajin armor that's purple. He breaks out of that, and we see his upper body, which he has his own natural armor. So by default, that should be what's happening. I'm not sure how they're making the armor grow out of his body, but that's the way it was in Resurrection F, the movie, and that's the way it was in the 2015 version of the anime. So it is what it is there. They're staying true to it with Dragon Ball Super Frieza. So yeah, it doesn't make sense, but there you go. They're forming it because it's like, hey, when we all come out the womb, we're out the womb in our birthday suits. But not apparently Frieza here when he's being reconstructed. So yeah, and that's coming in fall 2026. So yeah, and that concludes the breakdown portion of this live stream. Let's go head over to the chat for a bit. We got Don J has sent some other stuff. He should at least be half as strong as Gohan if he achieved an ultimate form. I think you were referring to Teen Shinha. Yeah, I think they're definitely argument that can be made that they're on Saiyajin's base level before the powers started getting into god level powers or whatever, or however that worked. And stuff. I did like that Teen Shinha versus Trunks battle in movie 9, and how he was basically head to head with future Trunks, and Trunks went SS1 to basically knock him out and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Just imagine how dangerous Moro will be when he shows up later in the anime. Oh dude, yeah, I've read the manga. I know absolutely how dangerous Moro is. I love the Moro arc and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. He says, I would like if Frieza Frieza became canon to the story as a future big bad. Let me scroll down here. As a future big bad guy years after Frieza gets beat all over again. I mean, he is a creation from Akira Toriyama. I think Akira Toriyama designed him. So yeah, why not utilize him somewhere down the line and everything and stuff like that. Even implement him in Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, let's get Vegeta's little brother. Let's get Frieza's son. Let's get all these guys in there and all that stuff and things like that. All right, we're gonna come to the last part of the live stream tonight, or it's over. Actually, here it's midnight, 12:52 a.m. in this part of the world that I'm in the U.S. Out here in the Chicago time. But that being said, we're gonna keep on going here. Thank you all who are staying up late with me. If you are watching this over here, or if you're in a part of the world where it's early mornings, thank you, appreciate that. All right, so for the analysis section here, we're gonna get to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. So, yeah, overall, just as my analysis, I haven't played the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games in a long time. I played Xenoverse 1 when it came out in 2015 for PS4, and I played Xenoverse 2 when it came out back in what was it, the PS4 as well in 2016. I beat the story mode, but I was so busy with my short film that's anime inspired live action Battle of Deception and stuff like that throughout the 2010s that I didn't really have time to play Dragon Ball games. I'm just now getting back into Dragon Ball games with Sparking Zero. However, I am very intrigued by Xenoverse 3's story and the new characters in the new realm, the new world that Toriyama built for this game. So, and now that I am doing live streams, I probably will be picking up Xenoverse 3 next year and doing live streams to play it and everything. So, I definitely am looking forward to seeing where this is going. But for those of you out there who have played and been ride or die with Xenoverse 2 and have enjoyed being able to get 10 years worth of 10 years worth of what's it called, of content, I hope you enjoyed it and everything. Also, by the way, I should mention, you probably noticed, those of you follow, I didn't do in this live stream, I didn't do a breakdown of the Xenoverse 2 trailer or Fighters. That's because I'm not gonna be playing Fighters just yet. I will play it soon eventually, but first I'm gonna finish up with everything I need to do in Sparking Zero, and then do all the DLC in Kakarot, and then I'll be looking to do Fighters because I haven't I'm gonna have to learn how to play that game and stuff and things like that. Because I do want to play the story mode and at least get the story and see what everything was about with Android 21. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to go back and play Xenoverse 2 story mode. I'll probably maybe look up the cutscenes on the on YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, Xenoverse 3 I think I will be playing. My understanding is that Xenoverse 3 is going to have a different story, different from Xenoverse 2, so I'm not sure how many of the events from Xenoverse 2 will go over into the events of Xenoverse 3, but I am certainly looking forward to it, like I said. And I thought I'd go over through here as we talk about this analysis section. So just the characters that we got so far, like I said from in my breakdown, what we have so far with the white-haired Saiyajin, he looks like he's a very serious character, but has his moments where he'll smile. He's probably going to be a little bit low-key like Glorio and Dragon Ball Daima. Heck, they both have white hair, but I'm loving the outfit, love the design Toriyama gave, and we know for sure he's a hybrid Saiyajin. Now, what's very interesting, and I don't know if you guys remember this, this was a long time ago when it came to the dubs. So there was like this rumor where you're 1/4. The reason why Pan never went Super Saiyajin is because she was 1/4 Saiyajin. So like 25% of her blood was Saiyajin, 75% of her blood was human, and as a result, it apparently weakens the blood as the bloodline weakens as you go throughout the hybrid Saiyajin human hybrids. It gets to the point where you cannot go Super Saiyajin, and that was believed for a long time. But of course, there were things that contradicted this, like Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. They went Super Saiyajin, and they were less Saiyajin. They had less Saiyajin blood than Pan did in Dragon Ball GT. But of course, GT really wasn't different within the story, the official story. And from my understanding, official guidebooks, like older guidebooks like Daisenshu 7, they once suggested that they suggested about the blood basically being an issue as the generations continued. And Akira Toriyama, though, he later confirmed, later clarified that the amount of Saiyajin blood that is significant depends on the amount of S cells that would be the right emotional trigger. And I remember a lot of people didn't like that because with him explaining S cells, that created the tingly back feeling that allowed was it Kel and Khalifa and who was it, oh man, what's the male Saiyajin that's also with them, Oh gosh, why am I forgetting? I want to say Tarbo because he looks like Tarbo. Let me see. Male Saiyajin that is Vegeta's protege in Universe 6. I am like blanking right now. I got the biggest mind fart right now, basically brain fart, trying to remember Kaba. Oh gosh, yeah, it's getting late over here, guys. It's getting late, but we gonna stick to it. Oh man, but yeah, Kaba. I don't always want to go to the Tarbo for some reason. They got similar character designs, but yeah, that's the thing about Sai. That's the thing about him is that, you know, that made people so mad because Goku at SS1, people were like, they want to believe it was the emotional rage that triggered from seeing Krillin, aka Krillin, get destroyed, and Goku transforms into the legendary SS1 for the first time ever. But it's really now, it was that tingly back feeling that he got, and it just was the event that triggered, was the emotional trigger and everything. It gives it a scientific explaining, but I don't think it's one of those things that would have not been necessary. But nonetheless, that's what Toriyama explained, is it's the amount of S cells. So this, when you think about this Saiyajin character, being that the Dragon Ball Age 1000 is like over 200 years later from where Dragon Ball Z and the end of the manga ended, by all means, if they're going by that old logic we used to hear about the 1/4 being 1/4 blood of Saiyajin means you can't transform, then by all means, he shouldn't be able to do it. He's got far less Super Saiyajin blood in him, yet he's able to transform into an SS1. So I'm very interested to see as far as what he can do when it comes to that and stuff like that. So then we have the new Saiyajin. Well, I don't know if she's Saiyajin, but that, and so far he hasn't been given a name. He's just male player, and then there's the female player. So it's really cool to see the female design and everything for from Toriyama. Orange hair she has now. Is she a Saiyajin? We don't know yet. So it's gonna be interesting to see what role she plays in Xenoverse 3. So definitely looking forward. But yeah, loving the new outfits. Like I said, they're straight fire. It's the great Saya. This is the new great Saya man outfits and everything and stuff like that. So I'm going to be very interested to see what her role is when it comes to Xenoverse. And if she is a female Saiyajin, more power. You know, hey, I am all for having female Saiyajins. I know they get a lot of hate, but I personally love Kel and Khalifa and Kaba as well. You know, so I know a lot of people say they were a bunch of Mary Sues, but I enjoyed them. And then the one character we did get named was Brett. So Brett is a lot of people are speculating that he has probably got to be a descendant of Son Goku and Son Gohan. And some of the nice things about it, and I have it here in my notes. I'm trying to find it here. Where did I put it? Yeah. So one of the interesting things that we got when it comes to Brett, and we saw there was a lot of references to Gohan, like even this outfit looks very similar to what Gohan's wearing at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z / the second half of the manga. So Gohan, one of the things is the name Brett. So in Japanese, my understanding is the name is pronounced Buretto. And burrito basically is a pun of bread. Now, Gohan's daughter Pan, she her name in Japanese also is a pun off of bread. Pan. And then in Japanese, obviously Gohan's his name basically is a pun off of cooked rice. So Toriyama always loved playing around with puns like that. So yeah, it's a lot of him. He's probably a descendant of Gohan and everything and stuff like that. So he might be a hybrid Saiyajin and human. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what Brett adds to the table in here. But like I said, so far he seems to have the most personality. I'm loving what we've seen out of him in the trailer. Maybe the girl will have the most personality. We haven't really seen her other than just looking in that whole setup with Bluma and everything and stuff, aka Boma. So that's gonna be interesting. Speaking of Bloma, but let's also get to the chat here. Don J says she could have went Super Saiyajin with the help of Dente or Piccolo, but I guess they did not think about that at the time, and I think Pan had enough S cells to at least get a tail. Very much so. Yeah, makes sense what you said there for sure. And going into Bluma, aka Boma, Here's something I will notice that's very unique. If you all look at most Toriyama designs, he does these really high waist designs where belts are really high waist. It's even when I try to cosplay as Dragon Ball characters, particularly Junagano, aka Lapis, if you all have seen that interview or read that interview, number 17, sideboard 17. The thing about it is I always would try to get pants that were high wrist, high waist pants, so that way I could make it look just the top portion look like it, but often we get pants that, you know, go right down to the waist and everything. So yeah, Bluma's pants goes all the way down to her waist. And that's something that is that amount of the stomach is usually not that visible with Toriyama design. So it's very interesting that he did that. And so just looking overall, I do love the new Bluma futuristic design and everything. But more so, I am more like everyone else. I am more interested in the story of why is she looking so young and healthy and been able to live this far in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Age 1000. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the story behind that is. Like I said, we know for sure that the theories are she either got something special by Whis with that ring around her neck, but she wasn't always wearing that ring halo thing around her neck in the trailer. So maybe it's not that. Maybe Whis granted her internal youth. Maybe she drunk from what Roshi did and got internal life or internal youth. Maybe she used the time machine and basically created her own time travel. Whatever it is, I'm looking forward to the story. But yeah, it's going to be very sad that she gave herself the hookup to still be youthful and young and livable and living in age 1000, whereas Vegeta has long since passed. So yeah, I'm going to be interested to see where this all goes, definitely. But I am loving the new character design for sure. Don J also says Goku Jr. was the closest human descendant that was able to reach the Saiyan, aka Saiyajin state more to that the age 1000 descendants, or he has at least had more S cells. Yeah, definitely. That is for sure and everything. Because yeah, I think the end of Dragon Ball GT takes place 100 years after. So yeah, by the time you get 100 years later, you're not too far off from where age 1000 is. So yeah, definitely good point there to make. Alrighty, and then we'll get to the next part of the analysis here. Now, this is pretty easy. Dragon Ball Sparking Neo, pretty much Limit Breaker Neo. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Limit Breaker Neo, pretty much showed us everything in that trailer. So I pretty much went over everything in that breakdown. But yeah, I'm loving the new artwork that we got from Shintani. And overall, this is just a massive upgrade. This exceeded my expectations because before I thought this was just going to be one big legacy Budokai Tenkaichi 3 / Sparking Meteor a legacy DLC pack. That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be that, but hey, it didn't end up turning into that at all. They's like, no, we're gonna not only throw you stuff that was in the previous games, but we throwing in a whole bunch of new stuff. Like they went hard. It was overwhelming. It's like, whoa, okay, we're getting more than I could have ever thought possible, and we still got more characters to be announced. So I'm loving it and everything. This whole new thing, this whole new DLC pack just looks great. It just shows that they are thinking about the game. A lot of people say this is a dead game, but I just think, man, they had to release this game a lot sooner. They had to release it a lot sooner than they probably would have wanted to make sure they would be in time for all the promotional stuff with Dragon Ball Daima. And you know, I know a lot of people will complain and say with Spike that these games, all this content should have been in the game from day one, just like it was with Tenkaichi 3. And I don't create video games, so I'm not even going to be pretending like I know all the technical mechanics that go into that. But what I do know for sure is that creating polygon 3D character models on the PS2 is nowhere near the level of complexity and probably even time consuming time sink that it is for the PlayStation 5, Xbox S/X, and PC games. These character models are a lot more expressive. The animations are a lot more bigger. They've got way more advanced effects. The arenas themselves are a lot more detailed, and that's a lot of processing power to render at once. So yeah, they probably had to make a lot more of this game. If they would have waited to 2026, yeah, it would have been felt like a more complete game, but then they probably would have missed out on hitting all those promotional beats and everything. And like I said, as a content creator, I'm glad about it because Sparking Zero has given me so much content on my channel to keep it active and everything as I try to get back to my Dragon Ball podcast and eventually my short films like Battle Deception or my Goku fanboy versus Vegeta fangirl videos that I'm working on and stuff, those short films. So definitely as a content creator, I'm thankful for Sparking Zero having come out when it did back in 2024. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm getting hyped because I can't wait to play and see what the signature and ultimate attacks are. But like I said, the big thing is that new game mode has to deliver, because we're going to play those characters, have a good time with the signature and ultimate attacks. But once that's done, that game mode has got to deliver. And I hope they got more big game modes planned. So really the big eye is going to be on that game mode. Will that game mode deliver and things of that nature? I don't know if they're going to be adding more what is it called? I don't know if they're going to add more with Sparking Zero, if they're going to add more DLC for the episode battles. Like, and I'm almost done with my playthrough of episode battle. I got one more coming up on a live stream with Jiren story. But yeah, those episode battle presentations were pretty whack, basically, with the slideshow presentations. But the cutscenes that they did put a lot of effort into, those were straight fire. But I still had a good time still playing with it in terms of the live stream. So I would love to see if they're going to be adding more live streams where we could play more OG Dragon Ball stuff and things of that nature in the movies and stuff like that. So that would be cool to see. As far as more things is going into Sparking Zero, Sparking Neo, as mentioned, I think this is the first of many big DLC. One thing's for sure, there's a lot more that they can still add with this game over the years. So I'm glad that they're going to keep support for this game. I'm wondering how much it's going to cost. We'll have to see, but it's all good for me because I've been saving up and everything and stuff like that I have a bunch of reward points that I'm going to be using and stuff and everything. Yeah, like if you guys played, like if you guys do like Best Buy and stuff like that, they let you get reward points and stuff, and you can convert those over to PlayStation digital gift cards, and boom, there you go. You can basically play those games. You can basically play the games and stuff with money you've already spent, because that's money you got back. So that's how I've been doing it and everything for DLC, instead of just taking the money right out of my pocket. So yeah, that's really cool. Don J in the chat says, I bet Devilman would be a pretty good fighter. Yeah, he got beaten up by Goku pretty bad. Yeah, he sucks against anybody that knows how to fight with a pure heart. But as a villain, man, that guy probably could have been very devastating in OG Dragon Ball. OG Dragon Ball has so many characters and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fun to play Devilman in this game, Sparking Zero, and see who's the most evil out of them all for villains and stuff like that. And one thing though that I do stand by, one of the most disappointing things is that we're only getting 4 stages. There's so many more stages left from Tenkaichi 3, and I hope they do a massive update where we are able to play as more of those stages. That would be way more better to see, way more cooler, and all things like that. But it is what it is there and everything. Hopefully we'll get more stages and everything like that. So overall, I am very hyped for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the Limit Breaker Neo. I'm very happy to see where we're going, and definitely look forward to more live streams coming soon about that one. All right, Dragon Ball Super Beerus. So we know that it's pretty much complete, and they've moved on to Resurrection F and Universe 6 arc and stuff like that. So basically, as far as any updates from what I've seen of the new trailer, like I said, everything looks polished, everything looks good. This is supposed to be like 6 to 8 episodes, so overall I think it's gonna look fire, and I just really hope this is the definitive way to watch Dragon Ball Super when it comes to the Battle of Gods arc and everything. The movie was fire, and I think the animation looks like it definitely outdoes the movie from what we've seen in all the new trailers and the new trailer. So overall, I'm thinking this is gonna be looking really good, and really ain't got too much to really say or complain when it comes to the analysis section of what we've seen. Overall, I think the animators have done a tremendous job. I can't say enough good things about it. So if anything, visually, this is definitely looking like it's going to be fantastic for sure. Don J says in the chat, could you wonder what type of bad guys Age 1000 would have? I could only imagine how strong those characters would be. Yeah, they got to be on ungodly levels of strength and stuff. You want to, especially to keep the tension high in the story. So yeah, they definitely got to be much stronger. All right, so Dragon Ball Super Frieza, as mentioned with this one, as far as the analysis of this one, I mentioned already, there is so much to be done from a narrative standpoint that I would love to see, with Gohan looking a lot more stronger than what he did, letting Vegeta get the win where he kills Son Goku, but they're probably not going to go different from that. And yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. They're probably not going to go from that different. But overall, I think this is going to have the most remake of anything. Like I said, they're going to probably remake all the cool stuff, all the fight scenes and everything. This might be one where they just throw everything out in the trash and say, let's just build this whole arc from the ground up. But I'm hearing they might be almost done with this. So Resurrection F, if anything, we get a much more prettier polished version of what we got in the movie and stuff like that. So looking forward to Dragon Ball Super Frieza. So they're wasting no time, and this might be about another 6 or 8 episodes, so they're going to be blazing through this stuff really quickly. So that's going to be something that's going to be awesome that they're doing with this. They're blazing through this really quickly, so at least we don't have to wait a whole year or so again for them to go through all these different arcs and stuff like that. So overall, looking forward to seeing what they add with Resurrection F, at least making it look more prettier, I guess. Yeah, I'll go crazy if they actually do change the story up where Vegeta gets the big win and stuff like that. And yeah, hopefully they still get rid of that Captain Ginyu moment. I don't think we need that at all. All right, so now we are getting to the Universe 6 arc and everything, and I believe this is where is this no yeah, the Universe 6 arc I believe is in production. I don't know if I checked my notes. Let me make sure I check my notes here. Let me Google it right quick. Is Dragon Ball Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc in production right now for the Dragon Ball Super remake? Let's check here and see. Based on reports, the production is 70% complete. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, I was right. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. So, basically, yeah, we're hearing that about we're basically hearing that the Dragon Ball Super Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc, that is about 70% done. And this is the arc, like I said, that I'm looking most forward to in terms of seeing what direction they're going to take things, because the manga is very different than the anime. This is where we actually see how Vegeta first got Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyajin God. So, and I wonder if they're going to keep the Kaioken and Super Saiyajin Blue Goku technique in there. So I'm very interested to see how this one goes. This is about 70% done. So we can probably expect this at the end of 2026, maybe early 2027. So definitely looking forward to seeing where this arc, because this is going to be the first true test. This will be the first big arc that will tell us if they're staying true to the manga, if they're going to stay closer to the manga, or if they're going to keep it with the anime, or it's going to be very hybrid. It's going to be some parts from the manga and some parts of the anime staying. So very interested to see where they go with this. So yeah, like I said, they're blazing through this stuff pretty quickly and everything. So I mean, it took us a whole year to get to this in the 2015 version of the anime. So very interested to see where we go for that. In the chat, Don J says, I would love if they have special weapons enhanced with ki. That would be a new thing for the future. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I think they're doing a lot of that now. I mean, going back to Fakatsu no F, when Sorbet did that thing that took out Super Saiyan Blue Goku, which I still hope they get rid of that scene. Like, oh my gosh, I still never could buy that Goku was so off guard that thing is just strong enough to one-shot him to near his death. Like, no, I felt like that thing should have bounced off him, even if he was relaxed as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan Blue. Yeah, so hopefully get rid of that. All right, so let's go ahead and address the big rumor elephant in the room. Word to the grapevine, if I said that right, or word going around, rumor is that Toei Animation is not going to remake the Goku Black / Zamasu / Future Trunks arc, and they are not going to remake the Tournament of Power / Universal Survival arc. Alrighty, so here's my thoughts on this, and I have watched Geekdom 101's video on this, and I've also read what Anime AJ had to say on X. And from what I can gather, it sounds like it's not so much they're not going to make these two arcs, but rather they're going to take a break. They're just taking a break and are going to be starting on Moral, because they want to get the Moral arc out a lot sooner, and then they might come back and make these arcs. So not necessarily it's never going to get made, just they're going to take a break and move over, because they are having, like, I think 2 different teams, but they might just be putting their focus. Maybe their one focus is on the remakes. Now let's stop the remakes and let's focus on the Moral stuff. So yeah, maybe they heard the complaining. Maybe they heard how there were fans on the internet all over complaining about, why are they putting all this time into stuff we've already seen? Get started on the new stuff that hasn't been adapted in anime. I don't know, who knows, but production just looks like it's halted on that, and they're working on the Moral arc. And hey, I ain't gonna complain about them working on the newer stuff that's never been animated versus the stuff that has been animated. But it also, you know, it goes to show what I was talking about, and what I said in the first time I did my breakdown of these. I said, here's the thing. Once you get to the Goku Black stuff, animation was fire. This is where Dragon Ball Super really started to take a turn for the better in terms of animation. Like I was talking about, like when Shida came in and did that awesome fight scene when Goku and Zamasu and Goku Black are fighting all in the vacant or destroyed city and stuff. So it's kind of like animation is not the problem here with this arc. It's more narrative, especially with that ending. So it's like, there's not much that needs to be done in terms of animation. And then once you get to the Universal Survival arc, holy crap, the animation was on fire. Like that kind of set a whole new standard of what we were seeing with animation, like the Migate no Gokui, the Ultra Instinct stuff that we were seeing, the stuff with Goku versus Kefla, like all that stuff. Like that animation was fire, especially towards the end, like the last episode of Dragon Ball, when we had like animators like Yuya Takahashi coming in. Like holy crap, this stuff was absolute fire. And so it's like, this doesn't really need, it's like almost a masterpiece that doesn't need to be touched. So if they feel the need to not have to animate it, then fine. Like I said, the only thing, just like the Goku Black arc, the only thing I could think of is from a narrative standpoint, from a narrative standpoint, the only thing that really needs to be done is cut out so much fluff. There's so much fluff in the anime version of this. Cut out a lot of the fluff and get back and concise it down to its big hype moments and stuff. And we're pretty good in terms of this arc. So yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. Or if they're gonna add stuff, add more stuff that we see with the universes that are not the main universes and stuff like that, and hopefully it can be used later on in the manga. So yeah, but I'll be honest, if they said screw it, we don't want to work on this, and we're just gonna go ahead and move forward to the moral arc and all that stuff and everything from there, fine, that's fine with me, because hey, like I said, I didn't need the remake. Like many Dragon Ball fans, I don't think we needed a remake in the beginning. I was okay with not having a remake. So it's the way I would describe it. Let me get some water here. The way I would describe it to me is very similar to if you're a WWE fan, I would say it's like the Roman Reigns push. Roman Reigns, one of the more popular WWE stars over the last decade. In the first 5 years of his big run, right, roughly from about January 2015 up to about April 2020. They were pushing this guy as the strong top face of the company. They were going all out with him. And it was like, yeah, it's kind of not working. The fans were rejecting it and stuff. And I mean, he was trying his best to do what he could with the material they were giving to him, but it just felt kind of unorganic. And that's kind of like Dragon Ball Super. Man, they were giving us new Dragon Ball, but the animation with Dragon Ball Super and how much they were dragging out these stories, like, it just ain't it. And then when you get to WWE, Roman Reigns around August 2020, he comes back as this character called the Tribal Chief, and as this persona, as the character basically evolves into this Tribal Chief persona. And ever since then, man, fans have loved Roman Reigns. He's been embraced greatly by the audience, and that's kind of what I felt like with Dragon Ball Super. As you got towards like the Goku Black arc in terms of animation, you got towards the Super, and then eventually, you know, we get into like Dragon Ball Super Broly. It's been this uphill deal with how the series has been perceived. The moral arc was really loved for the manga, and that's why so many people wanted to be animated for the longest. And there's these moments right here in the granola arc that fans really enjoy. So Dragon Ball Super, it's kind of like they worked out all the kinks. Like, to me, you know, these arcs right here were working out the kinks. And then this is where they started to improve. And then they started to really, to me, excel and start doing some bigger hype moments than what we even got in Dragon Ball Z and OG Dragon Ball. And then it's like, oh, perfection. We're now getting perfected with all these newer things that they've been adding. And it was one of those things where when you look back on it, like with WWE's Roman Reigns, it's one of those things where when you go back, you look at it, it's like, yeah, the first half of his run was what it was when he was being the big dog persona, but they adapted, they learned what works, and now we've been riding this wave of Roman Reigns being the most entertaining he has been in this second half of his career. And you just learn from it. And I think that's the way, is what I'm saying, getting back to Dragon Ball. It's one of those things where, like, yeah, it sucked the way how butchered these arcs were in terms of animation and stuff early on. And they got better and then even better from there. But it's a learning lesson. They did go back and remake, clean up the animation for the Blu-ray releases. And like I said, we always had our definitive versions, because I would always tell people, go back and watch Battle of Gods, go back and watch Resurrection F, Fakatsu no F, Kami to Kami with here. Go back and watch those movies, and then start right here in the Universe 6 arc for the anime. And yeah, I was perfectly fine with that. And yeah, there were bumps and bruises along the way, but you just take and learn from that and adapt. And that's what I felt they've done in the more recent Dragon Ball Super stuff. And yeah, there are arcs like this one right here, Galactic, like the Granola arc, that have its ups and downs, but it still has some really great moments. And as we get past eventually Dragon Ball Superhero and get to the end of Z when Toyotaro returns with the manga, it's one of those things for me that I just feel like, okay, take what lessons could be learned from the early start of Dragon Ball Super and adapt that to make it to where moving forward, those mistakes aren't happening again and Dragon Ball Super is thriving. Just like, you know, we can't change what happened with Roman Reigns early on in his career with the big dog persona, but they did adapt and we are able to enjoy what he is now as a tribal chief, just like we are able to enjoy the more recent Dragon Ball Super stuff that we've gotten even better. And so it's like no need to make a remake, you know, because there's definitive ways. Like I would have been fine just going back and watching the movies and then watching the anime and just, you know, visiting the hype moments that I want to see in the anime. Yeah, it would be nice if they do a narrative change on the ending here, but I doubt they're going to do that if they do remake this and everything, but it is what it is. To their credit, like I said, you learn and you adapt from mistakes. And after that arc, they've done a pretty good job of making sure Goku and Vegeta had to go through the series, making sure that, okay, they're going to beat Broly on their own as Gogeta, making sure that, okay, they're going to find a way to beat Moro on their own. When they were fighting the Heaters in the Granola arc, there's other ways that intervene. They've done a good job, Toriyama and Toyotaro both, at coming up with stories where they don't have to rely on like doing another ending like they did at the end of the Goku Black arc, or getting where Piccolo and Gohan didn't have to rely on Goku and Vegeta. So they've definitely improved that part, which I definitely enjoy. And so that's the reason why, if they choose not to make the Goku Black arc or the Universal Survival arc, if they choose not to remake those, then I'm fine with it. I do agree with what Geekdom 101 said, where he was saying something along the lines that he believes you should finish what you started. And I agree. And it's funny, every time I hear like that phrase, you should finish what you started, I always think about the English dub of Dragon Ball Z when 19 gets his arms ripped off by Vegeta and he runs away and Vegeta flies in the sky, and so Dr. Gero, aka Dr. Gero, is like, enough, and Vegeta's like, enough, that's absurd, it's enough because you're losing, you came here to destroy us, and now that we're winning, you don't want to play anymore, fool. And then he shoots out his hand, you're going to have to learn to finish what you started, and he does the iconic Big Bang, or welcome to Super Vegeta's Big Bang attack. Dude, I love that. I mean, I kind of put the Japanese version and Dragon Ball Kai version with that, but I always love that line and everything. So yeah, I think you should definitely finish what you started, but if they don't, I mean, like I said, we still got a lot of good moments in the Goku Black arc. We still got tremendous moments in the Universal Survival arc. This stuff is the things that don't really need that much of a remake in terms of the animation standpoint and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Don J says, Goku Black and Zamasu was one of the best villains Dragon Ball had. He was more of a monster than Buu, Cell, and Frieza combined. Yeah, very evil character. I said he was one of the most evil MFers in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. So yeah, and I did like the story for the most part, and everything, and someone gave me a really good appreciation in their comment as far as like, I used to complain a lot about how what are they doing? Like, if they want to get rid of humans, then use the human extinction attack like Super Buu and then build your world anew. Or if you want to destroy the world, then do what Kid Buu do, blow it up. But the guy's comment that he left made me understand that no, they really thrived on torturing mortals and instilling that fear in mortals. So that's why they took their sweet time, just like 17 and 18. So I kind of do have a newer appreciation, understanding for that. But I still stand by the fact of the decision that that when it came to them, that when it came to the anime, they really dragged that thing out. They really did. They dragged that thing out with the pacing and stuff. So yeah, I do have an understanding and more appreciation for why they were the type of villains that they were, but I still don't think they had to drag things out as long as they did in the anime and stuff like that. Be right back. All right, so looking at things here for Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yeah, I still stand by what I was saying on here. This thing is a masterpiece. This doesn't need to be remade at all and things of that nature. And so if they do want to remake this, and I just don't really see how. This movie was perfection, but adapt Toriyama's portion of his script that he wasn't able to get into the movie, and then I guess they can turn these into episodes. But like, why would you want to mess with this? It's just a masterpiece. There's no reason for it. And then the Galactic Patrol more arc. So it sounds like they're going to be starting on this very soon. So I'm glad to see that. So I can't wait for this and everything. Like I said, I know all the animators are going to kill it, so definitely we're looking forward to that. So not much new information has come out regarding these, regarding this and everything, but I am looking forward to that. And then I know I didn't get to talk last time when it came to my last breakdown, the Granola arc. You know, I do like this arc. I do. But there are some things, though, that did irritate me. I know they changed up Bardock's story even more to where it seemed like he may have been an even better person than what it was before. But I'm not too bothered by the Dragon Ball minus stuff. But it did, I remember, it did change more of the core story, retcon a lot more of the Bardock origin. I did like the Heaters. Ultra Eagle Vegeta was awesome. True Ultra Instinct Goku was great. The Granola was a great villain. Not a villain, but he had a great backstory. So I enjoyed all that. The Heaters, man, especially I forget the one guy with the leader of the Heaters. He was a real evil SOB. Super evil SOB, especially the way he did his brother Gas and all that stuff. And this was some of the best choreography fights. So I mean, the animation on this is gonna be top notch. So I'm looking forward to when this one comes out. I'm guessing we're not probably gonna get this until closer to the end of the decade. So we're probably looking at maybe 2028, 2029. But definitely looking forward to this being animated. One thing though that I think above all else that irritated me about this arc, and it's like a love-hate relationship. Like, I think Black Frieza was awesome. I love Black Frieza showing up and going ham. But the one thing I just, and this is a change that I hope the anime implements. I don't like that Black Frieza was the one that ended up killing, I forget, because I haven't read this in a long time. Let me see. What was in the Granola arc, what was Gas's brother name that gets killed by Black Frieza? Because I know they were the Heaters. What was it? Gas was the youngest brother, and Enforcer, Eric. Yeah, it was Elec. Elec. So I hate that Granola wasn't the one that killed Elec, because after the way he did Granola's whole past, the tragedy, killed his mom, I felt that personally Granola should have been the one to get vengeance on Elec. So I hope the anime changes it where Elec, he ends up defeating and killing and no, I hope it's Granola that ends up defeating or killing Elec. And then when Black Frieza shows up, have him go ahead and kill the rest of the Heaters, and you can still do the whole thing with Gas and everything. But Elec, he definitely needed to die at the hands of Granola, because it just felt like we sit and read through that whole thing, all of that, and you feel so much sympathy for Granola and everything he went through, and the fact that he pretty much gave up his life's longevity just so he can finally get at Elec, only to find out Black Frieza comes in, wipes them all out, and now he's got to live with his decision because of his wish to become the strongest in the Dragon Balls. He's got to live with it. and realize that, yeah, he's gonna live a short life now, and he never got his vengeance, and he didn't end up being the strongest in the universe for that long, just because Goku and Vegeta, he completely underestimated the fact that the Saiyajins can get that much stronger after battle, and that Frieza was somewhere out training in another room of spirit and time, aka hyperbolic time dimmer. So that was my thing about this arc. I just wish at the very least Granola got the big win over Alec. But that was some gruesome looking stuff that they did for the ending of Gas and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that in anime. It would feel more justifiable. I just feel if they have Granola was the one to defeat Alec. So yeah, Don J in the chat says the Heaters are the super version of BoJack and his crew. Yeah, they kind of did remind me of that. I wonder if there was some influence taken, because Toyotaro, he is a big fan. And no matter what you guys see there, it says story by Akira Toriyama and art by Toyotaro, but the actual truth is that Akira Toriyama and Toyotaro actually wrote the story sort of together. Toyotaro pretty much did most of the work, and Toriyama basically supervised and added some finalization stuff to it. But they want to make sure Toriyama's name, it says story by Akira Toriyama, so that way they stay with the credibility and stuff, because Toriyama's name obviously holds a lot of weight. But at some point, when we get past all the stuff that Toriyama had made, the stuff that he dedicated to Xenoverse 3, all this stuff from the manga from Dragon Ball Super gets animated, at some point they're gonna have to start saying story and art by Toyotaro, because that it is what it is. He is who Toriyama has left Dragon Ball in the hands with. He was Toriyama's successor, his protege and stuff like that. But overall though, yeah, I am looking forward to this arc. I think the big highlights of this is the new forms, the Goku, the Vegeta, especially Vegeta's Ultra Instinct ego, not Ultra Instinct, Vegeta's Ultra Ego. Like that's gonna be fantastic stuff. Chris Sabat himself has even done a line on stage at a convention and stuff, and it's just really awesome. So it's gonna be really interesting to see where they go with that. But yeah, we're still a ways off before this gets animated, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be absolute fire. Dragon Ball Superhero. Like I said, they can do this in 2D if they want to, and animate those. So it'll be interesting to see if they want to go in that route, cut all that up into different episodes. They do have the prequel stuff and the stuff that happens after the movie that in the manga that still has to be animated. So I'm looking forward to seeing what direction they end up going with that, because once we get past Dragon Ball Superhero, that's where we can go into the end of Z / the end of the manga, and then finally eventually when Toyotaro gets back to the manga, we can see what happens afterwards, what happens directly after Goku goes off to train with Oob. Like, I guess, it's a shame we'll never get to see Akira Toriyama's version of Dragon Ball GT, essentially, as I would call it. But he maybe never wanted to. Look how long we were in this time skip. But what we could see is what would Toyotaro see? What would his vision be for Dragon Ball past that point? That's when we're going to see new territory, when new stuff in Dragon Ball is being made that Toriyama had no direct involvement with, because unfortunately he passed away a couple of years ago. So that's when we'll be in new uncharted territories with Dragon Ball and seeing where things go from here. And so we'll definitely have to put our faith in Toyotaro that he will be able to keep Dragon Ball going strong in the future. So hopefully we get more information announced about the manga soon. I know Geekdom 101's been hinting at stuff with the manga coming on and stuff and everything. So looking forward to seeing eventually where we can go from here when Dragon Ball Super continues. All right, so that takes care of the analysis section. So we made it through all there. Thank y'all for checking this out over 3 hours. Yeah, let me see where the because my voice is almost feeling shock at this point. So 109 of you have been here. Really appreciate that in the vertical stream, and then 60 of you have been here in the live stream. But yeah, a lot of watch time definitely forming. So yeah, thank you guys, because the watch time is definitely what's helping out, is what I need in order to get monetized and stuff eventually. So really appreciate y'all doing all that and taking time out Shout out to Don J, by the way. Been absolute awesome all night in this chat and everything. Let me take some water. Yeah, my voice is almost shot after this. All right. Let's see. I read when you said the heaters are the super version of BoJack and his crew. Yeah, pretty much. And then you said I had an idea about what if one of Whis' family members were in rebellion and had half-breed human children or had grandchildren who more demigod types and use them to help them fight other heroes. Interesting, but that'll probably get them erased. I imagine that's probably recreate, what is it? Basically, what's the word I'm thinking of when you it's so late at night, I'm trying to think. Yeah, them breeding out human / angel hybrids and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know if that goes over. They might get erased automatically for that. Just like because didn't what was his name? Beerus. Yeah, Beerus, didn't the angel Beerus, when he got involved with the human affairs or something like that, he got erased or something. There was something he did, I forget, in the moral arc. Haven't watched in a while, but he did something that he sacrificed himself and he got erased. So I remember that and things like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a big no among the angels. Don J says that would create a multiversal type of war arc or something. It could be. We'll see what Toyotaro eventually has cooking up for us once he gets the manga back going up in Dragon Ball Super. But yeah, that could be an interesting arc. They could definitely go and stuff like that. But yeah, that being said, guys, thank you for everyone who's checked this out. I'll be making, of course, as always, a bunch of long form daily videos and YouTube shorts. So you all will be able to see these in highlights, and they'll be for newer people to discover that link right back to this live stream. Don J, absolute thank you so much for being engaging into the chat the whole stream. Really appreciate it. You helped add to the whole thing. So you have a wonderful evening, and everyone, thank you so much for checking out. That being said, you can go ahead and follow me on all my social media platforms and links in the description and pinned comment below, and more Dragon Ball content right there on the screen. Until next time, guys, take care.